presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports.
A slow roller, going to be a tough play. Hunsley, bare hands on the bounce and throw. He got him. What a play from Grayson Hunsley on the bare hand.
It's time for Post-8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Post-8 Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, True Green Camelon, Edward Jones Financial, Overhead Door, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, Jaeger, AGE, First Fidelity, and State Farm Becky Potsuba Agency.
This will be flown out by Charlie Simpson out to left field. Going back, it is gone! Charlie Simpson hits a two-run home run, and it's a 3-2 ball game.
Post-8 Baseball is also brought to you by Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Hawaii Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, Agtegra, Birding Electric, Envirotech, and Kruger Climate Systems.
Here's a line shot out towards left center field, diving and making the catch out in center is sun and shine. And tip of the cap from the
Post-8 Baseball is also brought to you by Stalkin Peterson LLP, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, Gales Gas, First United Methodist Church, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, Beck Motors, and May Adam.
Gets with a fly ball to left field. That one is going back to the wall. It's out of here. A 3-run homer for Dawson Getz. And it's a 4-0 lead for the Eights.
And by American Family Insurance Brittany Schaffelbein Agency, Lamb Motors, Bank West, CHS River Plains, Faith Lutheran Church, Graham Tire, Kathy's Sunshine Properties, Venture Communications, and the American of Fort Pierre. And now, Post-8 Baseball on KCCR.
And a good evening as we welcome you to the Fitz for our final game of day number 2. And it is Post-8 taking on the Rapid City Post 22 Hardhats. John Wickler with you on this Friday night. And yes, this is scheduled first pitch time. It is 8 o'clock at KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station. We were ahead, but they had the ceremony that kind of took us back a little bit, and now we're going to be about 20 minutes behind schedule to get this game underway. But this is an all-important game in this pool for Post 22 and for Post 8. Both teams are 2-0. The only other team that has not lost is going to be the Post 22 Hardhats, while Miles City is also 3-0. So it's an important win to try and get into that number 1 spot. Post 8 right now, they will face Post 22 18U tomorrow. If they do go 4-0, only Miles City will have to beat Laramie, Wyoming, and if they do, then probably Miles City would be the number 1 seed because they've only given up 5 runs so far. Post 8 given up 7, so there's still a chance, but only 5 runs through 3 games for Miles City. However, all of that is still to be determined going into Saturday. But for Post 8, who got the job done, an 11-6 win in game number 1, and then a 4-1 win in game number 2 yesterday against Wesco and Laramie, they have a chance, after Huron is now 0-3, they have a chance to kind of solidify themselves in one of the top 4 spots in the pool of Post 22 going into the day on Sunday. Post 8 will have Ridge Lineback on the mound. They'll go against Declan Mickley, and it feels like we've seen Declan Mickley be the starting pitcher for Post 22 in the last 7 years against Post 22. He's a really good left-handed pitcher for the 22 Hardhats, and one of those number 1, number 2 guys for Post 22. They're already 1-0 in South Dakota games. They won just a couple, well, I guess an hour ago now. They finished off that win against the Laramie Rangers. They won 5-0, where Post 8 won 4-1 yesterday. But they are 1-0 in South Dakota games. This will be their second South Dakota game. This will be the only game that counts for the standings in South Dakota. Post 22 18U will not count for the, I don't believe it will count for the standings at the end of the regular season. But this Post 8 teams got an opportunity against Post 22 on a Friday night here at the Fitz to come in to the 22 Hardhats home field to get a win, which would be a major confidence booster and something that will put everybody's eyes will be open, because Post 22 right now, they are 21-1-1 in the season. They have a 5-5 tie, probably due to weather that they had to call the game, but they have lost just one time so far. Now they're only 5-0 in those 21 wins. Only 5 of them have come against South Dakota teams. That doesn't negate how good they are. It's just that those 21 wins, only 5 of them have counted so far to the South Dakota standings. And for Post 8, they've got an opportunity to make them about 5-1, 3-1, or excuse me, 5-1 in the South Dakota standings. Where Post 8 right now, they are sitting at 1-3 in games in South Dakota and 3-3 overall after their 2 wins, and have won 3 straight going into tonight. Should be a fun matchup. It's a good crowd on hand. They had all 16 teams or 20 teams here for, what would that be? I want to make sure I get my math right. The 16 teams, there's 8 teams in each pool. They had all 16 of those teams line up and had a ceremony after the Post 22 game against Laramie. And now as we get set for our final game here tonight, expecting this crowd to be a good atmosphere, great atmosphere, as it always is here at the Fitz at Post 22's home field. But Ridge Leinbach will be the starter. Declan Mickley for Post 22. We've got starting lineups coming up here in just a little bit. We'll talk a little bit more about the schedule and where the games might be for Post 8 come Sunday, where they could possibly be, and also making sure that you are aware of that schedule change, that if you saw the schedule at the beginning of the year or even on our website at kccradio.com, I forgot to take that off the story, but we will fill you in on the schedule change or the different schedule that Saturday has for you between for Post 8 at the Veterans Classic. We'll take our first break. The pregame show will come back in 3 minutes and break down this pool so far through 2 days, almost 2 days here at the Veterans Classic. Back in 3 minutes here on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Solutions you can trust from a neighbor you know. Comtech, locally owned and serving Pierre and surrounding area since 2009, is dedicated to keeping your home, farm, and business connected and secure. We offer a full range of services, from audio and video, security, surveillance, and networking, with expert installation and support. Visit our storefront, call us at 605-224-4066, or visit our website, comtechplus.com, to experience the Comtech difference. Comtech, your local technology experts.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
When you're looking for quality trash pickup services, look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back, the sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC, 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up, all online. New or used, shop for it all online, anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
And we welcome you back as we continue our pregame show between Pierre Post State and the Rapid City Post 22 Hardhats, as both teams are 2-0 in the Veterans Classic pool, getting set for the third game for each team and the final game tonight. Yesterday, Pierre won the first two games against Wesco Zephyrs 11-6 and then beat Laramie Rangers 4-1. Post 22 18U team then beat the Laramie Rangers 2-1. Grand Junction lost 3-0 to Miles City, and Post 22 had a 6-0 win over Huron to close out Thursday. Then Huron came back and played the first two games of day number 2, playing at 7:30 this morning, would have been 8:30 Central Time, and it was a 4-2 Grand Junction win, so they are 1-1 now so far going in, and they will play a doubleheader tomorrow night. Miles City then beat Huron 11-3 to move to 3-0 on the they went to 3-0 after a 5-2 win over West Coast Zephyrs. Post 22 18U beat the West Coast Zephyrs 4-1, as Post 22 18U is 2-0, Post 22 is 2-0, Pierre is 2-0, and Miles City is 3-0. West Coast Zephyrs went to 0-3, and then just moments ago, it was Post 22 beating Laramie 5-0. So Scottsbluff and Laramie, that was Scottsbluff being Wesco, Laramie, and then Huron are all 0-3. So Post State cannot finish anywhere lower than 5th. Even if they go 2-2 and lose the last two games, they cannot finish lower than 5th. If they win one of the two games outside, well, if they win one of the two games, they cannot finish worse than 4th. And if Grand Junction loses one or two games tomorrow, then they could finish as high as 3rd. It could be Post 22 18U team along with the Hardhats and Pierre, along maybe Miles City in there as well. But if they would win one of the two, they'll finish above the 22 18U team or Post 22. So there's still a lot at play. And it looks like we're going to get the guys taking the field right now for Post 22. So it looks like we're getting set for baseball a little bit quicker than I thought we were going to. We got the starting lineups. Let's get you those starting lineups here before we get into our first inning of work. It will be Carter Shufflebein that will lead things off. He is the left fielder. Sutton Sonnenschein, the right fielder, batting second. Charlie Simpson is the catcher, batting third. Dawson Getz, the shortstop, will bat fourth. Cooper Twilliger, the first baseman, batting fifth. Grayson Hunsley, the third baseman, batting sixth. Porter Hunsley will bat seventh. He's the center fielder. Parker O'Brien, the second baseman, batting eighth. And Nolan Peterson, the DH, batting ninth for Post State. Ridge Leinbach is the starter on the mound for the Eights. It is going to be Aiden Roberts, the third baseman. He will lead off for Post 22. Lars Kiefer, the center fielder, batting second. Wyatt Reeder, the second baseman, will bat third. Brian McLeod, the left fielder, batting fourth. Jace Moreno, the DH, will bat fifth. Carter Johnson, the right fielder, batting sixth. Dexter Steen, the first baseman, batting seventh. Brody Thompson, the catcher, batting eighth. And Ryland Hunt, the shortstop, is batting ninth for the Hardhats. And Declan Mickey is on the mound. And we give you his stats so far for Declan Mickley. He has thrown 5 innings in his one start. He got the win, 2 hits allowed, no runs. He had no walks and 7 strikeouts. That ERA is 0, the whip at .4. And the batting average against at 118. So just one start so far for Declan Mickley. This will be his second start overall, as Post State will be at the plate first. And they will have Carter Shufflebein, Sutton Sonnenschein, and Charlie Simpson to lead things off here in game number 3 of our Veterans Classic here at the Fitz. Glad you're with us here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Carter Shufflebein will dig in to lead us off here in game number 3. He had 2 hits in game 1 against the Wesco Zephyrs with a 2 RBI single in the top of the 6th inning, or the bottom of the 6th inning. Went 0 for 3, reaching out an error in game number 2. As he is ready to go, he will dig in, and we are set for baseball. Just about 13 minutes behind schedule. And Declan Mickley, the lefty, will get the sign and deliver the first pitch. Scheffelbein will foul the first pitch away for strike one as we're underway at 8:12 Central Time, 7:12 here locally. Mickley's one start came against the CBC Post. That would be the Oilers out in Wyoming. That'll be up high, and the count's 1-1 here to Scheffelbein. He only threw 60 pitches in that first game. They came back on May 24th, so it's not been too long, but it's been a while since Mickley has thrown. This will be upstairs, and the count's now 2-1. Now, the flip side of that is the organization of Post 22. He's not going to go, he is going to throw bullpens. He's going to stay fresh, as this will be on the outside edge for strike two to Scheffelbein. The count is now at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scheffelbein, Sudden Sunshine, and Charlie Simpson. The lefty will get the sign and deliver the 2-2 to Scheffelbein. That will be a swing. It will be a drop third strike. The throw will have to go to first, and it will be caught in time for the strikeout. And there is one down here to kick things off in the top of the first inning. And it will bring up now Sudden Sunshine. Apologize, there's a little bit of the video freezing on us, but we're still on the air on YouTube at KCCR Sports. As the first pitch is over to a Sudden Sunshine for strike one. Yesterday for Sunshine, he had a hit in each of the 2 games. He scored twice in game 1 and scored another run in game number 2. That'll be outside, and the count goes to now 1-1. Hopefully, as the broadcast continues, we'll be able to get you a much better video to bring you. Here's the 1-1 pitch. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. A lot more people here tonight than there were yesterday. For our first 2 games, we had the first 2 games of the day yesterday, and on top of it with the rain, not a big crowd. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Comes inside, but taken for strike 3, and Declan Mickley's got back-to-back strikeouts to kick off the ball game. And it's now Charlie Simpson, the catcher, to the plate. Ryan McLeod's out in left. Cole make that Lars Kiefer in center. Carter Johnson in right. Aiden Roberts at third. Rylan Hunt at short. Wyatt Reeder at second. Dexter Steen at first. And catching the first strike on a swing and a miss from Charlie Simpson is Brody Thompson. And the count's 0-1 here to Simpson. Hit a 2 for 3 in game 2. An 0 for 3 in game number 1, but did have an RBI single in that second game. That one's over for a strike, and the count's now 0-2. So an 0-2 count. Here's the 0-2 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 1-2. Here to Charlie Simpson. Hope to be able to get this all worked out on the video side of things. They're not giving you freeze frames of everything. 1-2 pitches upstairs, and the count's now 2-2. By the time, everything all unfrozen, and then by the time that Mickley throws the pitch, it freezes up again. 2-2 count here to Simpson. Mickley will deliver. That'll be just missing outside. A couple of guys are moving towards the third base dugout, thinking it was going to be a strikeout of Simpson. Now the count has run full to Charlie Simpson, the catcher. 3-2 pitch here from Mickley. This will be popped up. It is behind home plate. It'll be called for. The catcher will make the catch, and Thompson and retires his side here at the top of the first. A 1-2 inning for Declan Mickley to get us going here in our final game of day number 2. We head to the bottom of the first. No score between Pierre, Post 8, and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Financial investments are very important, but so are the investments of time, patience, and encouragement our young athletes receive from their coaches, teachers, and mentors. Your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisors understand this. That's why Edward Jones is a proud sponsor of Governor Athletics on KCCR. Go Govs! For all your investment needs, call or stop by one of our offices to visit with your Pierre area Edward Jones Financial Advisor. Edward Jones, member SIPC. Stolken Peterson LLP has been your local CPA firm for over 40 years, offering tax preparation, bookkeeping, payroll, and consulting services. If your business, farm, or ranch needs professional, accurate, and reliable services, we are your firm. Our clients are our #1 priority. If you need a higher level of accounting service, give us a call at 605-224-5828. That's Stolken Peterson LLP, 222 East Missouri Avenue in Pierre. We welcome you back. It is the bottom of the first. No score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard. And it is going to be the batting order of Aiden Roberts, Lars Kiefer, Wyatt Reeder, Ryan McLeod, Jace Moreno, and Carter Johnson, Dexter Steen, Brody Thompson, and Rylan Hunt. As it is for Ridge Lineback, who is on the mound to try and get a huge South Dakota win for the Eights. Lineback so far on the season, he has thrown just 2 1/3 innings in his one relief appearance. 4 walks, 5 strikeouts, 1.71 whip. Did not allow a hit in those 2 1/3 innings. 50% first pitch strikes, and for a linebacker, he's going to be really good. He's going to continue to throw strikes in this ball game because Post 22 will make you pay if you give him too many walks. 332 team batting average for the Post 22 Hardhats. As Aiden Roberts will lead us off, he's a 423 batting average, 4 doubles, 2 triples, and 2 home runs. 6 home runs on the year for Post 22, and Roberts has a third of them. Leads the team with those 2 home runs. 10 runs driven in at the leadoff spot for Aiden Roberts. Looks like rain is falling here at the Fitz, which is forcing some of the fans to move their way into shelter farther behind home plate. As Ridge Lineback will deliver the first pitch. It'll be over for strike 1. Those first pitch strike will be huge for Lineback throughout this ball game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. And he'll stay upstairs, and the count is even at a ball and a strike to leadoff man Aiden Roberts. And rain that really made things mucky for us yesterday. Although it didn't hurt Post 8 winning a couple baseball games, so maybe that's a good thing to have a little bit of rain falling. Counts 1-2 here to Aiden Roberts. 1-2 pitch. That one will miss low. Lineback was trying to really fire that thing past Roberts, but it missed low and away. Got to the backstop, and the count's now 2-2. Go around the horn defensively here in just a moment for the Post 8. 2-2 pitch will miss low, and the count is full to Roberts here in the opening batter of the bottom of the first inning. Here's the 3-2 pitch. Swing and a miss, and there's a strikeout. Simpson will tag him just to be sure. And a strikeout of the first man in Roberts, and it brings up now Lars Kiefer, the center fielder. Defensively for Post 8, Carter Shufflebine is out in left. Porter Hunsley in center, and Sutton Sunshine in right. Grayson Hunsley is at third. Dawson gets at short. Parker O'Brien at second. Cooper Twilger at first. Charlie Simpson behind the plate as Ridge Lineback delivers the first pitch. Low for ball 1 to Lars Kiefer. Kiefer 373 average in 59 at-bats so far. 3 doubles, 2 triples. He also has a home run. He'll line that one out towards center field. That's going to get down for a base hit in front of Porter Hunsley. And there's the first base runner of the ball game for either side. It is a 1-out single. And 1 on and 1 out for Wyatt Reeder. For Wyatt Reeder, 453 batting average. 2 doubles, 6 triples, 26 runs driven in, 50 goals, 60 assists. Oh, it does the hockey stats that were out of this world for Wyatt Reeder this year for the Rushmore Thunder. First pitch swinging, Reeder turns on it and rips it foul down the right field line. And the count is 0-1. Wyatt Reeder had just an absolutely insane, unconscious year for the Rushmore Thunder, who went undefeated, won the state championship. Their toughest game was a semifinal. Not that it wasn't tough to win the state championship, but their closest game was the state semifinal, where they were trailing after 2 periods. Conrad Reeder, the head coach for the Rushmore Thunder. Here's the runner that takes off, the throw to second, the tag applied, they got him out of second. Charlie Simpson guns down, aims to make that to Lars Kiefer, throws him out, and there's now 2 down with nobody on here in the bottom of the first. I do say it was a ball to Wyatt Reeder, but that does make things a lot more difficult for the 22 Hardhats to try and score here in the first inning. That one will be a check swing that hit him. I think they gotta say that he swung. No, they gotta ask the third. He swung. Oh, they say he didn't swing. And so Reeder's hit by the pitch. He looked like he swung at that pitch. And there's a runner on at first. And it will bring up Brian McLeod. So that does extend the inning. The curveball that missed inside. That was I mean, you don't usually see that, but it was close to being a swing. First pitch swinging, ground ball. Hunsley will miss it. Getz will field. His throw to first will still be in time, and that will retire the side. So good job for Ridge Linebaugh getting out of that inning with no damage at all. There's no runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We've played 1 full inning. There is no score between Pierre and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Building a home. It's the biggest investment most of us make in a lifetime. Not to mention it's a decision that, well, you pretty much live with day and night. The quality of the workmanship stares back at you like a reflection. It also affects the value of your investment. Choosing the right contractor is critical. Kruger Contracting is that contractor. Call 222-2523. Quality workmanship and materials completed on time. Kruger Contracting. In a word, quality. Call 222-2523.
Becky Pottsaba and State Farm Insurance are here to help you with your insurance and banking needs. State Farm's not just insurance. It's banking, investments, IRAs, loans, and a whole lot more. We offer guidance in a personal and caring way that helps you manage the risks of everyday life, recover from the unexpected, and find ways to control costs so you can realize your dreams. We know how life is, and we're here for you. Stop in to see Becky at 1315 East Wells Avenue in Pierre, or call Becky at 224-4173.
Top of the second, no score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. It is Dawson Getz, Cooper Twilliger, and Grayson Hunsley, the first 3 hitters here for Post State, 4, 5, and 6, after Declan Mickley faced the minimum with 2 strikeouts and a pop-out foul. Dawson Getz, who had 3 hits in game number 1, with a 2 RBI double that gave the Eights a 7-6 lead. They ended up winning 11-6 in that ball game. Did not have a hit in game number 2, but also had another RBI. So 3 RBIs in total for Getz so far. He'll swing the first pitch and fly this out towards right center field. That is down and will get all the way out to the wall. Sliding for us, the right fielder in Johnson. Getz will stay at second. Now he's going to be on his way to third. The throw will be cut to the second baseman. It'll be the first baseman covering in Steen. And it is a leadoff triple for Dawson Getz. You maybe misread a little bit of what Coach Iverson was saying over at third base. He was ready to pull the chute at second, but he ends up making his way to third. And a leadoff triple. And how about that? Another triple for the Eights. Here is Cooper Twilliger now. A chance to drive in the game's first run. Good take there from Twilliger. On a pitch that hit the bottom of the, or bounced off the plate for ball 1. Had 7 triples coming in. That's now triple number 9 of the season. There's a swing and a miss. And it's strike 1 to Cooper Twilliger, who did not play yesterday, was not here yesterday, but is in the lineup today. And for Terwilliger, hitting .500 so far, 4 of 8 with a double and one of those triples. That'll miss low, and the count's now 2-1 to Terwilliger. Does have 2 runs driven in. Hitting .333 with runners in scoring position. An opportunity to give the Eights the early lead here at the top of the second. In a game that features more of the aces for the staff of these two teams, that could be a big run. That'll miss inside. The count's now 3-1. On deck, Grayson Hunsley, followed by then Porter Hunsley. .3-1 pitch here to Terwilliger. He'll swing at that one, foul it back, and the count's now full at 3-2. Not a bad swing there, looking for something up in the zone to try and drive. Maybe a little bit too far up, but that one spot that you're looking at on a 3-1 pitch, it was nearly there for him to try and really drive it somewhere to give the Eights the lead, whether as a base hit or a sac fly. 3-2. He'll foul that one over to and he got into the first base dugout, went to the left of Grayson Hunsley, who was on deck, then went off the netting and bounced off the back of Porter Hunsley. Looked like it bounced off the back of Porter Hunsley. And into the first base dugout where the Eights stay for this game. They're in the third base dugout yesterday, now in the first base dugout for today and will be tomorrow when they face the 18U team. That one will be ripped into right field. That's a base hit, and that will drive in the game first run. An RBI single for Cooper Terwilliger. And Post State strikes first here at the top of the second. And that'll bring up Grayson Hunsley, another RBI for Terwilliger. Good piece of hitting, going the other way with it with 2 strikes. Didn't have to do too much. And now Grayson Hunsley, followed by his cousin Porter Hunsley, with nobody out and a runner on first and a 1-0 lead for the Eights here in the top of the second. Showing bunt. He will pull it back just in time. He was avoiding being hit by the pitch and had to pull the bat back, so he didn't actually offer at it. Able to do both things at once, and the count's 1-0. Back-to-back hits for the Eights after going 1-2-3 in the first, a triple and a single. Here's the 1-0, another bunt attempt. Hunsley will bunt that foul over to Porter Hunsley. So it evens the count at a ball and a strike. See if the bunt is on another time. I believe the rain maybe has stopped for the moment. Here's the 1-1, another bunt attempt, and he'll bunt it foul another time over to Porter Hunsley, and the count's now 1-2, which then leads to Grayson Hunsley swinging away. Now to protect with 2 strikes. Terwilliger leads away from first. Nobody out here at the top of the second. Here is the 1-2. Hunsley climbs the ladder but fouls it away, stays alive. Count remains at 1-2. I believe the rain is still falling here at the Fitz. But it is still a beautiful night, beautiful Friday night here in Rapid City. 1-2 pitch again from Mickley to Hunsley. That'll miss low. Good take there from Hunsley. Obviously, there's not a lot of... You can go to the bullpen early for Post 22, but that doesn't really... I mean, it means something about getting through the starter, but this is a deep pitching staff. It will be tough regardless. Here's a 2-2. There's a ground ball left side. That is through for a base hit. First and second with nobody out. 3 straight hits here for the Eights to open up this second inning. First and second with nobody out. And now here's Porter Hunsley. Porter Hunsley yesterday, he was able to hit in both games. He went 1 for 2 in game 1, coming in as a defensive replacement. And then went 0 for 2 with a walk and scored a run in game number 2. He did warm up at one point yesterday, but did not pitch. He is showing bunt. He'll pull it back and taking it inside for ball 1. Rain's falling a little bit harder here at the Fitz, mostly because Watching Coach Torve move into the dugout for post 22, maybe putting a jacket on, but he and the assistant coaches all kind of backed away, get under the cover. Bunting this one up in the air. It'll be caught by the first baseman. And so the sacrifice does not happen, and there is a one out now here in the top of the second. As the first baseman and Dexter Steen came running in to make the play. Now it's Parker O'Brien here with one out and runners at first and second. Will they continue to try and play small ball? Nolan Peterson, the number 9 man, is on deck. But if you remember any post-state games from last year, tells you what this team has been able to do, that you put Nolan Peterson in the number 9 hole where he was your number 2-3 guy, because he was your best hitter. And not that he can't be your best hitter still, but up and down the lineup, you can put him at number 9 and still feel pretty good. So not showing bunt, and taking it for strike one was O'Brien. He went 1 for 2 in game 1 with a sac fly RBI. As he'll pop this one foul out of play. He went 1 for 2 as well in game number 2, so a nice 500 batting average so far for O'Brien in this Veterans Classic. A sac fly RBI in that first game that helped the Yates start to come back from a 6-1 deficit, then scored the game's first run, which held up until the 5th inning before the Yates put up 3 more runs. Here's the 0-2 pitch. Ground ball on the left side. This could be 2. A flip to second. Reeder to first. It's not going to be in time. And it's going to be first and third with 2 away. And the Yates will still have an opportunity to score a run on the fielder's choice. And Nolan Peterson can try and make this a 2-0 lead for Post State. 6-4 on the fielder's choice. O'Brien is on, and Twilliger over at third. Nolan Peterson now at the plate. He was the catcher in game number 2. He went 0 for 2 with a sacrifice bunt. Went 0 for 2, reaching in a fielder's choice and an error in game number 1. So been on base half the times he's come to the plate. Here's a slow fly ball that's going to get down for a base hit. Past the diving Reeder at second. The throw to third is going to be safe, and then coming off the bag and being tagged down is O'Brien. A run does score. But the turf for O'Brien sliding in went a little bit he went too far off the base. He almost got back before he was tagged out, but it does score a run. The third out is committed at third, although, again, yes, you don't want to make that third out at third base, but O'Brien was safe at third when you're not used to sliding in turf. And again, Coach Iverson, and O'Brien's probably saying the same thing. Can't let that be, but you can understand O'Brien sliding and diving past the third base bag because he's not used to sliding on turf and when it's wet. But it is an RBI single for Nolan Peterson. Makes it a 2-0 game here after an inning and a half as the Yates get those 2 runs. Back with the bottom of the second in 30 seconds. You're listening to Post State Baseball on KCCR, and you're watching it on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Is it the competition that keeps bringing you back? The long-standing rivalries? Or is it seeing friends again and cheering on your favorite team? At First Dakota, we're here for it all. We appreciate the fans, the players, the coaches and officials, the concessions crew. The shared community experience is part of what makes life here great, and we're here for it. See you at the game. First Dakota National Bank, member FDIC.
It is the bottom of the second with the Post State's Yates leading 2-0 over Rapid City Post 22. 2 runs on 4 hits in the inning. There were no errors and a man left on base. Nolan Peterson with the RBI single before that inning ended. They were getting back to the top of the order, but they will have the top of the order to start the top of the third. That's a strike to Jace Moreno, the DH. Moreno so far, this is just his second plate appearance. He is 0 for 1. Excuse me, yes. I think that's, well, it might be Morgan on there. This will hit him, and it will be a hit by pitch that will put the runner on. Second time that man has been hit. And it's now Carter Johnson, the right fielder. Make sure I get the right guy here. As Jace Morgan, not Moreno. As the first pitch is a strike to Carter Johnson. But Carter Johnson now at the plate. 0-1 pitch to him. Be just upstairs. Evens the count on a ball and a strike. For Carter Johnson, he is hitting 161, 9 of 56 so far. Does have a double, does have a home run in his 9 hits with 9 runs driven in. That'll miss outside. The count goes now 2-1. Here to Carter Johnson. This is number 6 man in the batting order. Dexter Steen will be on deck. 5, 6, and 7 to get us started here in the second. That'll hit the bottom of the zone at the knees for a strike, and the count's now even at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Post 320, they're playing their second game of the night across the parking lot. Here's the 2-2 pitch. That'll be chopped foul over towards the third base dugout. And Dexter Steen, the first baseman, makes the play. He was standing on deck waiting to hit. 2-2. Leinbach looking for a second strikeout. Come set, deliver. That one will be bounced in. And it's now a 3-2 count. And to second base will go Morgan. Leinbach was maybe trying to overthrow, lost the grip. And it bounced about 30 feet halfway between home and the mound. And Simpson was unable to block it up as it skipped across. And now time is called late as Leinbach started to step towards home for the pitch. Time was granted to Carter Johnson. Three-two pitch. Ground ball left side. It'll be fielded by Hunsley. No chance to make that play. The throw will get wide of the first base bag, and it will score the first run for the Post 22 Hardhats on a throwing error from Grayson Hunsley, and it's a 2-1 ball game. And the runner remains at second. So Johnson does not get the RBI, but a run does score. It's now 2-1 as Dexter Steen, the first baseman, to the plate. Steen 444 with 4 doubles and a triple, 13 runs driven in. Again, this is a team hitting .332 coming into the Veterans Classic. They beat Huron, shutting them out 6-0, and then a 5-0 win. So that was the first 2 runs of the tournament given up by the Hardhats on the RBI single from Terwilliger and then the RBI single from Nolan Peterson. As the count's 1-0 here to Dexter Steen. 1-0 pitch. That'll bounce in, get away from Simpson. Far enough to his left. That will move the runner up 90 feet to third. Good job by Carter Johnson to react to that pitch in the turf. Got a great jump on the secondary lead and finds his way standing up at third base. Nobody out. That tying run just 90 feet away. 2-0 pitch, sharp ground ball. That'd be some of the back. Terwilliger, the throw home, not going to be in time. Breaking immediately was Carter Johnson. He will slide in safely. Ties the game up on the RBI ground out. And it's a 2-2 ball game with nobody on and 1 away now here in the bottom of the second. So now Leinbach can go back to working from the windup, but that is an unearned run against Leinbach. Brody Thompson, the catcher, digs in, number 8 man in the batting order. First pitch is over for strike 1 and hits the top of the zone. Thompson coming in, hitting 167, 3 of 18, so not a whole lot of at-bats so far in the season. That was coming into the weekend. 3 runs driven in, as it's a 1-1 count. Now here to Brody Thompson. Ryland Hunt, the shortstop, be the number 9 man. He waits on deck. That will catch the zone. Another off-speed pitch from Ridge Leinbach, and the count's now 1-2. And Leinbach looking for his second strikeout. 1-2 pitch delivers. He swings and misses, and there is a strikeout number 2, and they're now 2 down here in the bottom of the second, and the number 9 man, Ryland Hunt. That Blaine Hunt, not Rylan Hunt. Missed the extra letter there. The first pitch will miss for ball 1. Coach Torvey's got some excellent handwriting, so I don't want to blame it on him. It was more blamed on me. But I messed up 2 names. This will be ripped foul down the third base line, sliced out of play, and the count's 1-1. Just didn't see that it was Blaine and not Rylan. But Blaine Hunt is hitting .341 with 5 doubles, 7 runs driven in. 1-1 pitch to him. He'll be upstairs, and it moves it to 2-1. Top of the order is waiting on deck. 2-1 pitch. I want to be outside. The count's now 3-1. You'd like to see the top of the order come up in the bottom of the third. I know there's 2 outs in the inning, but you'd rather not face the top of the order and get the number 9 man here. 3-1 pitch to Hunt. He'll chop it off the plate. Going to be a tough play. Leinbach will barehand it. He'll throw to first. He'll be in time. Good play there from Rich Leinbach. Retires the side and takes us to the third inning. 2-run score without a hit in the inning. There was an error and no one left on base. So after 2, we're right where we were after 1, but it's a 2-2 game now. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
For over 60 years, Ferding Electric has been powering homes and businesses across central South Dakota. When you need reliable electrical service, trust the experts with decades of experience. Whether it's a simple residential repair, a complex commercial installation, or even electrical work on your farm, Ferding Electric has you covered. And if you're tired of searching everywhere for that hard-to-find bulb, Ferding Electric carries a wide selection of bulbs, including those hard-to-find fluorescent and specialty options. Visit us at 2903 East Elizabeth Street or call today, 605-224-8684. Venture Communications has deep roots in rural South Dakota. Venture now proudly provides fiber to the home with 100% of our customers, enabling them to enjoy super fast and reliable internet connections. We'd like the opportunity to keep you in touch with the people and resources that matter most. 100% fiber and 100% committed to rural South Dakota. Call Venture Communications today at 605-852-2224, 605-852-2224, or online at venturecom.net.
Top of the third, it is a 2-2 score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Carter Shufflebine, Sun and Shine, Charlie Simpson. And top of the order, 1-2-3 here for the Eights, trying to reclaim the lead after scoring 2 on 4 hits in that second inning. The only hit so far, Lars Kiefer got a base hit in the bottom of the first inning. It was at 2 runs without a hit and an error. And it's now back to even. Shufflebine struck out swinging in his first at-bat. As he digs in here to start the top of the third. We've got a little bit of delay. I'm not sure what the delay is. I can't see it over on the first base line what they're looking at. Was it because Coach Iverson wasn't over at third base? They're waiting on him. That's what the issue was. So he'll make his way over to third base. Shufflebine will dig in. And Declan Mickley will deliver the first pitch of the top of the third inning. That'll miss low for ball 1. Second time through the order for both these teams to start the third inning. We'll have the top of the order also due up in the bottom of the third for Post 22. Here's the 1-0. That'll be upstairs. 2-0 is the count. Got some brave fans, some with umbrellas, the smart fans with the umbrellas. Some are just hanging out with hats on. Don't see anybody without a hat, at least if they're outside of the cover and having the rain fall on them. It counts 2-1. Now here to Carter Shufflebine. Mickley, the left-hander, from the windup, delivers a 2-1 pitch and missing inside. The count's 3-1. And of course, Post 22 wearing their famous hard hats on the field, those peanut helmets. Don't have the normal hats. They will wear them on the bench if they're not in the game, but at any point when they're on the field, they are wearing those helmets, those hard hats, obviously. A walk is drawn to Carter Shufflebine, and it brings up Sutton Sunshine. So Mickley will have to work from the stretch with the leadoff man on base for the second time in 3 innings. Leadoff triple by Gens, and now a walk here to lead off the third. First pitch, Sunshine showing bunt, pulls it back and taking it for a strike at the knees. Sunshine struck out looking in his first trip to the plate. The 2 strikeouts for Declan Mickley that came for the first 2 batters of the ball game. Here's the 0-1 now from Mickley. Sunshine showing bunt again, pulls it back. The throw back to first, and standing up is Shufflebine safely at first base. So 1-1 count here to Sunshine. Mickley comes set again from the stretch. Here's the 1-1. Swinging away was Sunshine, and he fouls it back to the netting, and the count's now 1-2. Charlie Simpson, then Dawson Getz. Looks like the rain maybe is lighting up a little bit. Coaches made their way back out from to the right side of the third base dugout. One, 2. Ground ball on the left side. It'll be fielded by the shortstop. Throw to second for 1. Back to first. It is a 6-4-3 double play. And the leadoff walk is retired. They tried it in the second inning, didn't get the double play. They get the twin killing here in the top of the third. Nobody on with 2 away. And it's now Charlie Simpson to the plate. A promising start of this top of the third is done away with by the double play. Simpson popped out to his counterpart behind home plate in foul territory. First pitch is down the middle for strike 1. This is our third of 4th pool play game. They will play on Sunday. Regardless of how they finish in this pool, 0-1 pitch is a swing and a miss, and the count's now 0-2. The earliest right now that they could play would be at 11:30 Mountain Time, 12:30 Central Time, because they cannot be farther than the 5th seed. That's as low as they can be. 0-2 pitch, bouncing in for ball 1, and the count is now 1-2. So it'll be 12:30 at the earliest, looking more like a 3 o'clock game. Now, if we get paired up with post 320, will be the last game of the day, regardless if we're playing for 4th, 5th, 7th. Well, we won't play for 7th, but whatever it is for post 320, we're going to play the last game of the day. They will play the last game on Sunday, regardless of where they finish out, but you start to go from 8th and 7th seed right away, then 6th and 5th, then 4th and 3rd, then 2nd and 1st to close it out, but 320 and 22 will play the last game. Here's a ground ball. That's through the left side for a base hit past the diving shortstop in Hunt. And it's a 2-out single for Charlie Simpson, 5th hit of the ball game now for the Eights. And it will bring up now Dawson Getz, who tripled the first time that he came to the plate. If he can do it again, he'll find himself with a RBI, and the Eights can take a 3-2 lead. The lefty Mickley will come set from the stretch, deliver the first pitch. That'll bounce in for ball 1. Blocked up by the catcher in Brody Thompson. Runner on at first here with 2 away in the top of the third. The 1-0. That will get through. To second easily will go Simpson, who didn't see that pitch get missed underneath the block of Brody Thompson. And so now it's a runner on at second, and a base hit from Dawson Getz could make this a 3-2 ball game. Counts 2-0 as well to Dawson Getz. A 2 RBI double in that first game that gave the Eights a 7-6 lead. Looking for another RBI here today in tonight's 2-0 pitch. Guess we'll fly this out towards right field. The right fielder getting underneath it, and Johnson, he'll make the catch, and that will retire the side here in the top of the third. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one man left on base. We get to the bottom of the third. It is a 2-2 game between Pierre and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
At Shane's Pharmacy, your health care is important, and Shane wants to be the pharmacist to take care of you. Shane's Pharmacy will make sure your prescriptions are filled in a timely manner, they will answer your questions, and they will even deliver to your home or office. Call 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy, the pharmacy you know and trust. The number again is 223-9200. Shane's Pharmacy in Fort Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
Yag Incorporated is your locally owned ag chemical and seed retailer. Yag Incorporated offers reliable ground and aerial application. For the latest seed and chemical pricing, contact Kyle at 605-280-8710 or Tony at 605-280-4771. Yag for all your ag chemical and seed needs. Kyle, 605-280-8710 or Tony, 605-280-4771.
Bottom of the fourth, it is make that bottom of the third. We don't want to get ahead of ourselves here. This is a good ball game right now. 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. Top of the order is due up for the Post 22 Hardhats. Aiden Roberts, Lars Kiefer, and Wyatt Reeder. He might reach his base. Ryan McLeod will come to the plate. Again, it's talking about what Post State will do on Sunday. It will determine on how this game ends here in this third game, and then what they do against Post 22 18U. They could find themselves in a spot where they could be the 1 or 2 seed. Let me look at the schedule here for what Miles City has. I believe Miles City, they play the first game tomorrow. So if Pierre would win this game tonight, they will know exactly by the end of that game tomorrow where they would go. I guess would also see how Post 22, if they lose Post 22 18U, they will not be the number 2 seed. This will be flown out right field down the line, and it will be caught by the right fielder in sun and shine. And 1 pitch and 1 out as the leadoff man retired in both in the order and in the inning. And now is Lars Kiefer to the plate. He's got the lone hit so far for Post 22. Kiefer singled, but then was thrown out trying to steal second. As Charlie Simpson has threw out his second man so far of the season. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. So Sunday is all determined, will be determined, and we'll mostly know by the end of that game. Again, we'll have a good idea at the end of the game tomorrow because there's only 2 games left, and we'll be able to exactly see how things will shake out. And for the teams that they're trying to chase or that are trying to keep up with, they're going to play Post 22, Post 22 18U. 3-0 pitch. It'll miss for ball 4. And it will be a 1-out walk, 4-pitch walk to Lars Kiefer. And now it's Wyatt Reeder, the second baseman, who was hit by a pitch on a near full swing. But it did not come back to haunt Leinbach, as he got McLeod to ground out to the shortstop Dawson Getz. Miles City, the only team where they would have to go to runs allowed per inning because they did not play them. First pitch swinging by Reeder. It'll be short hop by Leinbach. The throw to first is going to be in time. How about that for the athlete of Ridge Leinbach? Off the mound he goes and is able to throw out Wyatt Reeder, short hopping the pitcher. And there's now a runner on at second with 2 outs. 1-3 on the ground out, and Ryan McLeod to the plate. Base hit could give Post 22 the lead. The other teams, again, Post 22 and Post 22 18U, they're both 2-0 along with Pierre. that would mean that, they're playing them. So if teams are 3-1, now if they're all 3-1, that's a little bit different. But if one team's 3-1, they would win the tiebreaker, whoever won that game. They don't have to worry about runs allowed, other than if there's a three-way tie. First pitch will miss for ball 1. Here to Ryan McLeod. So still, again, there might be a spot where things look a little bit unsure by the time that we're done with tomorrow's game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. This will be flown out towards shallow center field. Backing up second baseman O'Brien. He'll make the catch, and that will retire the side here at the bottom of the third. No runs, no hits, no errors. Man left on base. 3 completes here at the Fitz. 2-2 our score between Pierre and Post 22 Hardhats. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
You just got a quote from a company and are now being billed for not choosing them. Many contracts have what's referred to as a contingency agreement. These typically state that if you don't go with them, you, after insurance has approved the repair work, will be charged a percentage of the job they quoted. Ask up front if they charge to provide an estimate. Never sign anything that you haven't fully read or understand. If you have any questions, reach out to the South Dakota Office of Attorney General's Consumer Protection Division at 800-300-1986.
Summer is here, and Beck Motor Company is stepping up to the plate. As a proud supporter of Legion Baseball, we're hitting it out of the park with unbeatable deals on the Chevy and Cadillac vehicles. Whether you're looking for the power of a Chevy Silverado or the luxury of a Cadillac Escalade, Beck Motor Company has the perfect ride for you. So swing by today. Take your game and your drive to the next level. Beck Motor Company, your local Chevy and Cadillac dealer. Proud to support our youth and ready to put you behind the wheel of your dream vehicle. www.beck-motors.com. 605-224-5912.
Top of the fourth, 2-2 is our score on the American Family Insurance Brittany Schuffelbein scoreboard. As you are listening to KCCR Pierre Riverfront Broadcasting Station as we roll up to 9 o'clock on a beautiful Friday night. Yeah, there's a little bit of some rain falling. It looks like the rain has stopped here in Rapid City, but it's still 62 degrees. It does feel like 59, but it is a beautiful Friday night, the first part of June here in Rapid City. 9 o'clock Central Time. It's still got a little bit of daylight still with you in the capital city. Score updates. It is a 4-3 Florida Panthers lead over the Edmonton Oilers. That is nearing the end of the second period. If we are done in time, we will try and get you out for game 2 of that series. We'll try and get you to the end of that hockey game, if time permits. That first pitch to Cooper Twilliger, a miss for ball 1. He got the RBI single to get Post 8 on the board. Also, it's a 10-3 Texas lead over Texas Tech in the winner-take-all game of the Women's College World Series as they head to the bottom of the 6th inning. They've got a shot to maybe walk them off with an 8-run rule. It'll be fouled out of play, and the count's 1-1 here to Twilliger. There is an 8-run rule in this tournament. It's usually just a 10-run rule, but it's 15 after 4 and 8 after 5. We kind of got somewhat close to the 5-run lead for the Eights, and they had a couple base runners in the bottom of the 6th against Wesco. Here's a chopper, third base side. That'll be foul. And the count goes to now 1-2 here to Twilliger. But I don't foresee this becoming an 8-run rule in this game. But, tomorrow's game, that is a factor. That could be a factor. It could be an 8-run rule. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Twilliger, line shot, base hit into center field. He's 2 for 2. Sliding was Lars Kiefer to cut it off. And Twilliger, 2 for 2 in the ballgame with 2 singles. Leadoff man is on base for the 3rd straight inning here for the Eights. Let's see if they can cash it into more runs. Grayson Hunsley, who is 1 for 1 with a single. He was thrown out in the fielder's choice later in that 2nd inning. 6 hits now for the Eights. Showing bunt, dropping it down in front of the plate. Picked up by the third baseman. The throw, nobody was covering third for a moment, but the sacrifice is good. And there's now 1 down, and it allows Porter Hunsley and Parker O'Brien to try and drive in the go-ahead run here in the top of the 4th inning. 5-3 on the sacrifice bunt for Grayson Hunsley. He does his job. And it's 7-8 in the batting order to try and make this a 3-2 lead here for Post 8. Here's the first pitch. Hunsley will foul that back. And it's an 0-1 count here to Porter Hunsley, who is 0 for 1. After he popped out in his bunt attempt, the first baseman in Dexter Steen. Also remind you, too, tomorrow's a 3 o'clock Central Time game, not the 12:30 game that was originally put on the schedule. That'll drop in for a strike. It was a post-409 team that did not come to the tournament, so post-22-18U got moved in, and they redid the Saturday schedule a little bit differently. And that then, in turn, moves post-8's game to the 3 o'clock Central Time game. Counts 1-2 here to Porter Hunsley. So be aware, 2:45 Central Time will be coverage in a 3 o'clock first pitch between Pierre and post-22-18U. 1-2. That'll be fouled back to the top of the netting, and Hunsley stays alive. Parker O'Brien waits on deck. Nolan Peterson, our number 9 man, the DH in this game. He's hoping for an opportunity to swing the bat here at the top of the 4th. 2-2 our score. No runs in the first, 2 each in the second, and then no runs in the third. 1-2 pitch will just miss low. Good take there from Hunsley. That's a close take, but a good take from Hunsley. Declan Mickley was looking for his 3rd strikeout, thought maybe he had it. But now evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. There's activity out in the right field bullpen for the 22 Hardhats. They'll try and pick off Terwilliger. The throw was a little bit high, but Terwilliger is already racing his way back to second with a little bit of help from the dugout and the post-8 crowd that is here for the ball game, making sure that he got back safely. Here's the 2-2 to Porter Hunsley. Ground ball up the middle. Can he get through? Reeder will field it. It was on the right side of the bag, so Terwilliger will get to third. A productive out, moving the runner over to third base is Porter Hunsley, and he's 0 for 2, but he does his job. And now it's Parker O'Brien with an opportunity to 2-out single, or just a 2-out hit in general. Gives the Eights the lead back. Terwilliger will lead away from third. A wild pitch could bring him in. Swing and a miss by O'Brien. He chases that one maybe a bit above the zone. But his eyes were lighting up on a fastball that was looking like it was going to be letter high, maybe a little under the letters. Came more towards his eyes. 0-1 pitch. That'll be right down the middle for a strike, as O'Brien couldn't pull the trigger that time. And the count's now 0-2. O'Brien grounded into a fielder's choice. And his first at bat was thrown out running first to third to end the second inning, although he was safe the initial time, but slid past the bag. 0-2 pitch, ground ball to the right side, staying down on his Dexter Steen. He will step on the bag to retire the side. So after the leadoff single by Cooper Terwilliger, unable to cash him in. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. We head to the bottom of the 4th. 2-2 between Pierre and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Walking together in faith, living together in faith, working together in faith, that's who we are.
Hi, this is Pastor Sam Hanschke. I hope that our athletes have an excellent and successful season. I pray that God would continue to richly bless them. I invite you to join me in praying for our athletes during the year.
We're Faith Lutheran and we are glad you're here.
Has it been years since you've been to the dentist? Are you afraid to see a dentist? If so, you are among many people who feel this way. Hi, I am Dr. Michelle Hofer of Missouri River Dentistry. At our office, we pride ourselves as an office that uses a personal touch to offer gentle dentistry, tailored to fit each patient's needs. We do so by utilizing state-of-the-art equipment and methods which allow the patients to feel comfortable. So whether it has been many years or 6 months since your last dental visit, your oral health is important. We invite you to call us at Missouri River Dentistry, 223-2021, 223-2021.
It is the bottom of the fourth, 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard. And it will be 5, 6, and 7. Jace Morgan, Carter Johnson, and Dexter Steen. He might reach his base, Brody Thompson. 2-2. Here in the bottom of the fourth inning, Post State with 6 hits. The Hardhats with just 1 so far through 3 innings. Ridge Lineback and Declan Mickley are throwing gems right now. Obviously, Mickley through 4. Lineback trying to get halfway through this game, but he will hit another man. Be the third man that he has hit, and the second time that Morgan has been hit. So leadoff man is on, just 1 pitch into this bottom of the fourth inning. Carter Johnson, who is 0 for 1, reached on air, though. That helps score that first run. He came in to score to make it a 2-2 game. Lineback has thrown 44 pitches. Mickley has thrown 66. Obviously, Lineback still has a full inning to go to catch up to what Mickley has with those 66 pitches. First pitch will show bunt. It bounces in front of the turf. The throw will go to second. It will bounce and it hits the back of the helmet or back of the head of Jace Morgan, and that one stung him. Simpson threw it right to the bag. It was, while the pitch hit the turf and get a great jump did Morgan. He did everything right to get there. Simpson threw it to the perfect spot to try and get him, but it ends up hitting the back of the head of Morgan, right around the neck area, which I don't care how fast that Simpson's throwing the ball or how fast anybody throws a baseball, that's going to hurt. He seems to be okay, and they're giving a little bit of a check. They do have the trainer out there checking on him. And she is looking into the eyes of Jace Morgan to make sure that he is okay. The hard thing about what baseball is that there is no re-entry rule, especially in Legion baseball. And when you try and give someone, not saying that, you can't give a concussion test right there, but you kind of want to be quick with it, and you can't bring him out of the game to give him a concussion test, and he passes it, well, he's out of the game. And football and basketball, hockey, any other sport, bring him out. Other than maybe professional soccer, you can bring him out and run a test. Actually, in soccer, you can. You just play down a man for a little bit, and you can give him a run through everything, making sure everything's okay. Baseball's not the same. Showing bunt again. Another good block there by Charlie Simpson. The count's now 2-0. Here to Carter Johnson as Lineback's going to find a way to throw some strikes here. First 3 have missed, 1 hitting Jace Morgan. The first 2 have missed to Carter Johnson. 2-0 pitch, another bunt. That one will be taken for a strike at the knees. And the count's now 2-1. So now will the bunt remain on here for Coach Torvey and the Hardhats. 2-1 pitch. They will show bunt. Pulling it back and taking ball 3. And a 3-1 count. Will you put the bunt on with a 3-1 count, or will you let him swing away trying to find a good pitch to hit and drive into the gap to give the Hardhats their first lead tonight? The 3-1 from Lineback. Swinging away. Line shot into left field. Coming in to make the catch will be Shuffleby. Not how you draw it up to get the first out, but it does work to keep that runner at second base. The sacrifice bunt would have moved him over to third. Dexter Steen, who's got the lone RBI on the ground down to the first baseman, Terwilliger. They made it a 2-2 game in that bottom of the second. Runner still at second with 1 out. First pitch is grounded over towards Terwilliger. He will not step on the bag. It was fouled off the foot of Dexter Steen. And it's a first pitch strike. It wasn't initially called right away, but I think, well, at least from the home plate umpire, I think both base umpires were starting to move in, and they saw it happen. From our vantage point, it's
get blocked, but just by the way the ball came off the bat and skipped off the turf, you could really tell that it definitely went off the leg of Dexter Steen, as that one would be fouled over left side, bouncing its way down the third base line. And so the count goes to now 0-2. Runner on at second with one out. Ridge Leinbach looking for his third strikeout. 0-2 pitch, ripped over to the first base side. It'll be through for a base hit. They will hold the runner over at third base. Just missed by a Parker O'Brien over at second. It'll be the second hit of the ball game for Post 22, and it's now first and third with one away for Brody Thompson, the catcher. And this is where, again, small ball doesn't come into play. Do you try the squeeze play? A little bit of maybe a safety squeeze. At the same time, that runner at first, does he take off for second to try and force that run home with the way the throw goes? But a ground ball can get you out of the inning if the runner doesn't take off. Leinbach from the stretch, not running, showing bunt and missing the safety squeeze bunt on the first pitch for strike one. In that safety squeeze, that runner at third doesn't break until the contact is made. The other squeeze play, the runner takes off right away. Here's the 0-1 pitch, not bunting this time. That one just missing low. And the count's now 1-1. And just looking to see if maybe that runner at first will take off for second. The game within the game. Here's the 1-1 pitch. Runner not moving again. Trying to check his swing, and he does. Simpson looking to maybe see if they will check. They'll ask the first base umpire. It was going to say he did not. I don't think he did anyway. Counts 2-1. Two-one count here to Brody Thompson. Showing bunt, dropped. That will be foul. And the count's now 2-2. Simpson will pick it up, foul. The safety squeeze was on again, and the runner at third, and Jace Morgan, did not break for home because as soon as that ball hit in front of the plate, it was right in front of the plate. There was no chance that he was scoring on it. So he stayed at third. It rolled foul anyway. And now it's a two-strike opportunity. And with with one out, if that runner takes off at first, you got a chance for a strike him out, throw him out to get out of the inning. 2-2, runner takes off. This will be popped up on the infield. It'll be Ridge Leinbach that will call for it. Catch will be made, and no chance to throw the runner out at first. Leinbach will come off the mound to make the catch. There's two down. And it's now up to Blaine Hunt to try and give Post 22 the lead. He grounded back to the pitcher, Ridge Leinbach. On a tough play for Leinbach. He's made a couple of plays. Reeder was the one that was the real tough play. Leinbach barehanded up the first base line. Was able to throw him out. First pitch will miss. It'll get away to the right side. Simpson, the runner will get second. Simpson scampered over to get the ball. But because of bouncing to the right, Morgan couldn't read it properly. Would have been a close play at home. But he couldn't read it properly to try and score on the wild pitch. But now a base hit can make this a 4-2 lead for Post 22. Here's the 1-0, showing bunts and pulled it back and takes it for ball two, then counts 2-0. Top of the order is due up next. Aiden Roberts, who's 0 for 2. Looking for an opportunity to crack it, maybe breaking the tie. 2-0 pitch. That'll miss low, and the count's now 3-0. Leinbach has only just one walk. It was Lars Kiefer that he walked. 3-0 pitch. That'll miss for ball four, and a base open. You don't really want to go over the top of the order, but get a fresh count and force out anywhere here for Aiden Roberts. Roberts 0 for 2. He struck out swinging in the bottom of the first, and then he flew out of the right fielder Sonnenschein. to lead off the third inning. But he gets a chance to hit here without leading off an inning. So Roberts to the plate. With 2 outs and the bases loaded here in the bottom of the fourth inning. Rich Leinbach has thrown 61 pitches. On pitch number 62 to miss low for ball 1. That's 5 straight misses right now here for Leinbach. The 1-0 from Leinbach. That'll be at the top of the zone for a strike. Evens it out 1-1. Again, forced out anywhere. Easiest base for the A's on a ground ball. 1-1 pitch. That one will just miss. Counts 2-1. Again, Declan Mickley, he's thrown 66 pitches through 4 innings. This will be pitch number 64. Make that 65 from Ridge Leinbach. And this will be a high fly ball to center field. Porter Hunsley is back. He gets underneath it, makes the catch. And Ridge Leinbach tiptoes out of danger in the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, 3 men left on base. We head to the top of the 5th. It is a 2-2 tie between Pierre and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
As South Dakota's oldest auto dealer, it's our 118th anniversary. Stop by and sign up for drawings, prizes, beef bucks. You save thousands with Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram employee pricing, plus incentives for everyone. Buick GMC incentives up to $62.50. Plus, all of our new vehicles in stock are tariff-free. Check out our huge selection of used vehicles at our 118th anniversary on the windshields and at WagnerAuto.com. Wagner Auto, your one place to go for sales and service, 118 years in Pierre.
People helping people.
Have you ever wondered what the benefits are of becoming a Owyhee Federal Credit Union member? At Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we reinvest profits in you. We do this in the form of lower interest rates, higher dividends, and low to no fees. So come check us out or come in at 221 East Pleasant Drive in Pierre, because at Owyhee Federal Credit Union, we treat our members like they own the place because, well, they do.
Owyhee Federal Credit Union.
So 4 innings of work for Declan Mickley, and he will turn things over to Luke Hanslick, who will make his 3rd appearance on the season and first since May 18th, as Luke Hanslick will be in charge of this 5th inning against Post States, who will have 9-1-2. And so far on the season for Luke Hanslick, 6 innings pitched, both games in relief. He is 1-0 on the season. Allowed 4 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, an ERA at 1.67, and a whip at 1. His last outing, it did not allow a hit, did not allow a run in 2 innings of relief against Cheyenne. Batting average gets at 174 for Luke Hanslick. And to close the line for Declan Mickley, who went those 4 innings. He threw 66 pitches, 6 hits, 2 runs, both of them earned, 1 walk and 2 strikeouts. Rich Leinbach has thrown 65 through 4 innings. We'll see if he gets an opportunity to work into the bottom of the 5th inning, or if it will be a bullpen game the rest of the way for both these teams. Nolan Peterson, RBI single in his first at-bat, leads us off here at the top of the 5th. He waits on the first pitch from Hanslick. The right-hander delivers, and it'll be fouled back to the netting for the first strike. Nolan Peterson, Carter Scheffelbein, Sutton Sunshine. First 3 hitters here at the top of the 5th. Halfway home in this first ball game, or in the only ball game of the day for Post State. And we are all tied at 2. 0-1 pitch. That'll bounce in. And it counts 1-1. An RBI single for Cooper Twilliger after Dawson Getz led off the second with a triple. Nolan Peterson drove in that second run in the 2nd inning. And then it was an error that scored the first run for the Post 22 Hardhats. This one's ripped foul. It will bounce its way back into fair territory, so they will have to wait for a moment before that 1-2 pitch will come to Nolan Peterson. But after his 2-1, Dexter Steen had an RBI ground out to first to make it a 2-2 game, and that's the only scoring we've seen in this ball game. 2-2. Make that 1-2. Ground ball. Third baseman will field. Roberts over to first is in time. The leadoff man retired to kick off the top of the fifth. And we'll bring up Carter Schuffelbein, who is 0 for 1, struck out swinging to lead off the ball game, then drew a walk in the third. Nolan Peterson going over to talk with Sutton Sonnenschein on deck. A little bit of advice on what he saw in the first 4 pitches that were thrown by Luke Hanslick. Now he's talking to Charlie Simpson as well. First pitch is over for strike 1. That is one, a good teammate of Nolan Peterson, who after a ground out and now 1 for 2, obviously 1 for 2 still a pretty good day, but the ground out, you might just be a little mad and go back to the dugout and not say anything to anybody, as that one will be outside. The count's 1-1, but instead he goes to the next 2 hitters in the batting order and tells them what he saw in the first 4 pitches. That's a good super senior going right to those guys and talking to them. Here's a line shot. That'll be a base hit for Carter Schuffelbein, and it'll get past the left fielder, and McLeod all the way out to the wall. Schuffelbein will stop at second. It'll be a single and an air charge to the left fielder, McLeod, and a runner in scoring position here with 1 out in the top of the 5th inning. It skipped right past him. 7th hit of the ball game for Post State. Second error, make that the first error for the Hardhats tonight. And Sutton Sonnenschein has an opportunity to give the Eights the lead back here at the top of the 5th. So Schuffelbein in scoring position here with 1 away in the top of the 5th inning. Sonnenschein 0 for 2. He struck out at leadoff or in the top of the 1st, and he grounded into a double play in the 3rd. First pitch will be upstairs for ball 1 to the rising junior. Charlie Simpson be followed by Dawson Getz, a couple seniors for Post State. Here's the 1-0. That will bounce. It will get up in the air. Schuffelbein will get over to third. He will slide in, and there was not much of a play. And the count's 2-0, and Schuffelbein's now 90 feet away from making a 3-2 lead. And they're going to bring the infield in. That's, I know we're in the second half of the ball game, but that tells you how important this run is and what Post 22 thinks the final score is going to be. 3-2 can win a ball game right now. They don't want this run of Schuffelbein to score. This will be fouled away. So the count's now 2-1 here to Sonnenschein. And with the turf infield, the hard ground ball anywhere can get through a little bit easier than if everybody's playing normal depth. 2-1 pitch from Hanslick. Schuffelbein swings and misses the fastball, and the count's now 2-2. Simpson 1 for 2 is on deck. Dawson Getz also 1 for 2. And when they get there, Cooper Twilliger's 2 for 2. 2-2 to Sonnenschein. Upstairs, it is now a full count. 3-2 to the number 2 man in the batting order. Schuffelbein leads away from third. The 3-2 from Hanslick to Sonnenschein. That'll be fouled back. We'll do it again. Fly ball can score a run. Hard ground ball. Schuffelbein's got to wait for that ball to get through. Pass ball can score a run. 3-2 pitch. That'll be taken for strike 3. Sonnenschein couldn't pull the trigger. And there is now 2 down here at the top of the 5th inning. And it will bring up Charlie Simpson. 1 for 2. He singled in the top of the 3rd. Now base hit. Now everybody's back in normal depth here for the Post 22 Hardhats. First pitch will catch the outside corner for strike 1. The 1-out single with an error put Schuffelbein to second. Would be probably considered a wild pitch. Got him over to third. He had skipped so high up in the air that by the time Brody Thompson had caught it, Shufflebind was pretty much there. Here's a pitch in the turf and a good block there from Thompson. That saves the run over at third. That squeaks through. It's going to stay at the back of the backstop. And Shufflebind scoring without a throw. Instead, it's just a 1-1 count. The 1-1-2 Simpson. Top of the zone, just missing upstairs. Moves it to 2-1. Trying to get Dawson Getz to the plate and score that run for Charlie Simpson. Two-1 here from Hanslick. That'll miss outside, 3-1. Well, there's a big hitters count here for Charlie Simpson. Base hit would make this a 3-2 lead. 3-1 pitch. That'll be taken for a strike at the bottom of the zone. Simpson thought maybe it was ball 4, but instead we'll have to dig back in with a full count. Three-two. This will be fouled, the back out of play. Another 3-2 pitch upcoming. On deck is Dawson Getz. Shufflebind away from third. Hanslick comes set from the stretch. 3-2 again. Simpson, hard ground ball over to the third baseman. Fielded by Roberts. His throw to first will retire the side. The one-out single in the air is not cashed in by the eights. No runs, a hit, an error, and a man left on base. To the bottom of the fifth, 2-2 between Pierre and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Most of us already know that Gales Gas of Pierre is the place to call for propane. They offer an automatic fill plan so you never have to worry about running out of propane. They accept debit and credit payments or a budget payment plan to spread out the cost throughout the year so you never have surprises when you get your bill. For delivery, convenience, and great customer service, call Gales Gas at 224-5518. That's Gales Gas at 224-5518.
Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping wants to make it easy for you to get that lush green lawn and that yard haven that you've been dreaming of. Visit dakotasprinkler.com to make appointments for sprinkler system spring startup, service calls, fall winterization, and landscaping quotes. Trust Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping's professionals to get you through the planning and installation to make your landscaping needs a reality. Visit dakotasprinkler.com today.
It is a 2-2 game on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebind scoreboard as we head to the bottom of the fifth inning. And it is going to be the 2, 3, and 4 hitters for the Hardhats. Lars Kiefer, Wyatt Reeder, and Ryan McLeod as Ridge Lineback will work into his fifth inning. He worked around the danger after a leadoff hit by a pitch, a one-out single, and a two-out walk. That loaded the bases up. But he was able to get a fly out to Porter Hunsley in center from the top of the order, Nathan Roberts. And we still stand here at 2-2 here in the bottom of the fifth. First pitch. That one is over for strike one. Lars Kiefer has been on base both times. He's got one of the 2 hits for Post 22. He also walked in the third. One of the 2 walks. This will be flown over the top of us. And the count's now 0-2. And Lineback ahead, 0-2 in the count. He can work anywhere here in the zone or outside the zone to try and get his third strikeout. 0-2 pitch. Upstairs. 1-2. A little bit too high to try and tempt Kiefer to chase. 1-2 from Lineback. Ground ball, first base side. Terwilliger will bobble. He'll overhand throw. Lineback at the bag will touch it in time. And 3-1 on the putouts. Didn't look the cleanest play, but a nice play from Terwilliger and a really good job of Lineback getting off the mound and going to cover the first base bag. One down here in the bottom of the 5th, and it's now Wyatt Reeder who's 0 for 1. He was hit by a pitch in the first, then he was thrown out. Linebach coming to his right off the mound, short hopping a chopper, and was able to throw him out at first. First pitch to Wyatt Reeder. Outside for ball 1. A good athlete for Wyatt Reeder. He's impressive all during the hockey season. And he's just a junior, rising senior now. And just to tell you, too, that baseball is his passion, and as good as he is at hockey, he's just as good, if not better, at baseball. And that's kind of a scary thing. Obviously, he's hitting 3-hole for post 22. You got to be pretty good if you're going to hit in the number 3 spot for post 22. And you're trying to keep him at bay. And maybe, depending on how you go, this could be the last time that you face him. 1-2 pitch. That's a chopper. Third baseman Grayson Hunsley will field. He couldn't get his glove quick enough, and it'll be an infield single for Reeder. Just high enough and soft enough from Reeder. And when you're good, and you get an infield single where you don't get a good piece of it, but you're able to bust it down the line and get a base hit. And now it's McLeod at the plate. He is 0 for 1, or make that 0 for 2. Ground out and a pop out. That was a curveball that he started to duck away from, and it stayed above the zone when it broke back, and the count's 1-0. One-0 pitch. That one's over for a strike, and it evens the count at 1-1 to McLeod, Jace Morgan, and Carter Johnson. But you're also just one ground ball away from sending us to the 6th inning. 1-1. That'll miss low. Picked at the plate by Simpson. Moves it to 2-1. Reeder gets his lead at first. He takes off. Pitch is popped up. That'll be fouled out of play, and the count moves it out 2-2. Strike away from the third strikeout here for Ridge Linebach, and one in the first and one in the second. 2-2 pitch. Swing and miss. There is strikeout number 3. 2 down. The cleanup man is retired for the 3rd time. And it's now Jace Morgan. Morgan's been hit by a pitch, and both times he's come to the plate. I mean, he is right, and he's got every right to be, but he is at the corner, back corner. Runner takes off. First pitch is missed low. The throw to second. Guess couldn't make the catch to put the tag applied on Reeder, as he will steal second. And so a 1-0 count and a runner on at second here for Jace Morgan. And if you can see on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube at KCCR Sports, you can see his back foot literally pushed in the corner of the plate. This will be popped up on the right side. Parker O'Brien just into the outfield, the turf, makes the catch and retires the side, and will send us to the 6th. No runs, a hit, no errors, and a man left on base. Top of the 6th, it is 2-2 between Pierre and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hey you. Are you at a job that is fulfilling, has good benefits to support you or a family today, and retirement goes down the road? If you just said no, listen up. CHS River Plains is hiring operations personnel, drivers, and custom applicators at several locations. These come with a knockout affordable benefit package for you and the whole family. Apply to a job with CHS River Plains and up your benefits straight up. To apply, visit us online at chsriverplains.com or stop in at one of our locations. CHS is an equal opportunity employer.
Larry Fry Heating and Cooling has a new name. Kruger Climate Systems has acquired Larry Fry Heating and Cooling, but it's still the same great service. Your friend Larry Fry is still a manager, and his dedication to providing you with outstanding service remains unwavering. The same quality products and services you have come to expect from Larry Fry Heating and Cooling will continue under the new leadership of Kruger Climate Systems. You can still reach us at 605-224-9548 or email us at ryan@krugercontracting.com. Kruger Climate Systems, your certified Trane and Mitsubishi dealer in Central South Dakota. Top of the 6, 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffleby scoreboard. Dawson Getz, Cooper Twilliger, Grayson Hunsley. 4, 5, and 6 as the Eights are trying to reclaim the lead. They had a 2-0 lead after the top of the second, but it is now 2-2 after 2 runs scored in that bottom of the second inning. But we haven't had any scoring since the second. This is the final game of day number 2 of the Veterans Classic. Both these teams are looking to go to 3-0. They won't be sitting in the catbird seat. Well, I shouldn't say that. Post 22, if they allow the 2 runs, I would think they're probably sitting in the catbird seat because they have less runs allowed so far than Miles City. If Post 8 wins, they're going to need Miles City to probably give up quite a few runs and then get a shutout tomorrow against, that is if Miles City wins. But then Post 8 will have to pretty much have a shutout, beating Post 22 18U as the first pitch to Cooper to Dawson Getz is over for strike 1. Because Miles City and the winner of this game will not play each other. So 2 teams could go 4-0 in the pool, and it then would come down to runs allowed per inning. Here's a line shot into center field. That's going to get down for a base hit. Almost bounced over the center fielder at Kiefer. They had just moved him farther to the right. I don't know if he was going to make that play if he'd have been in the spot that he had been previously before that pitch. But it does lead for a leadoff single and another leadoff man on base. This is the 4th time in 6 innings that the Eights have got a leadoff man. They have scored once in those first 3 times. First pitch is down the middle for a strike off the glove of the catcher and Brody Thompson. And 0-1 count here to Cooper Twilliger. 2 for 2 so far, an RBI single in the second. Made a 1-0 game, then he singled the lead off the 4th inning. Swings and misses at the 0-1 pitch. Bottom fell out of that pitch, and the count's 0-2. Grayson Hunsley, who is 1 for 1 after a sacrifice bunt in his last trip to the plate. He is on deck. The middle of the order, 4, 5, and 6 have combined for 5 hits. I mean, they're 5 for 6 right now in the ball game. That one missed high. The count's 1-2. 1-2 pitch from Hanslick. He'll deliver from the stretch. That'll miss outside. The count's now 2-2. There will be some activity out in the left field bullpen. Can't tell if that's actually White Reeder moving out there. Or maybe Lars, couldn't be because he's playing second. Lars Kiefer is in center. Looked like it was 16 or 19, or maybe 18. The count's now 3-2. It can't be 16 because Hanslick is number 16 on the mound right now. But from 0-2 is now 3-2. Looking maybe to draw a walk now is Twilliger. 3-2 pitch. Hanslick delivers. Taken for strike 3. Looking like it could have been ball 4, but too close to take, and there's one down here at the top of the 6th. First time that Twilliger has been retired. And it brings up Grayson Hunsley. Not expect a bunt to be on right now, although Hunsley did drop one down in a good spot back at the top of the 4th that made it a runner on second with 1 out, but unable to cash in. Porter Hunsley waits on deck. First pitch will be upstairs for ball 1. Again, the game of baseball, that's a strike to Twilliger because of the height of Twilliger. That's the strike zone itself, but it's way too high for Grayson Hunsley. The 1-0 pitch. That'll be taken for a strike. Hunsley ducked with the curveball that was coming in, but it dropped in for a strike, and it evens at 1-1.
Gets leads away from first after a leadoff single. 1-1 pitch. Ground ball that'll be past the diving Hanslick. Reeder underhand flips to second for one. That's all they're going to get for the second out. So another fielder's choice. And there's two down here at the top of the sixth inning, and it will bring up Porter Hunsley. 4-6 on the fielder's choice. Hunsley is 0 for 2. Popped up a bunt that was caught by the first baseman, Steen. And then he grounded out to the second baseman, Reeder. No better time than to find a gap right now here for Porter Hunsley. First pitch is outside for ball one. Ready to call that almost down the middle. It was middle, but it was outside for a ball. Number 7 man the batting order, Parker O'Brien, Nolan Peterson, 8-9. They could be due up still in this inning if Hunsley reaches base. The 1-0 to Porter will miss low for a 2-0 count, with cousin Grayson Hunsley leading away from first. Hanslick comes set from the stretch, 2-0 pitch. That'll be upstairs, now a 3-0 count. Most likely will be taking all the way here is Hunsley. And I thought maybe we were about to get a mound visit here from post 22. The 3-0. Upstairs for ball four, a 4-pitch walk to make it first and second with 2 away. And it will bring up Parker O'Brien. And we will have a mound visit. So maybe slow down Luke Hanslick. Again, coming up tomorrow, it is a 3 o'clock Central Time start. 2 o'clock Mountain Time. We'll get on the air at 2:45 Central Time. 1:45 Mountain Time if you're coming out for the trip and looking to maybe watch them play here on Saturday and into Sunday. And you're wanting to also listen to the broadcast or just coming out here. It's at 2 o'clock Mountain Time first pitch, 3 o'clock Central Time. We'll have it here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. With the mound visit, gives us a chance. We'll tell you it's still 4-3 Florida over Edmonton with 9:08 to go in the third period. And we're closing in on maybe not being able to give you anything from, if it goes to overtime, we probably be able to give that remainder of the game to you. With a 4-3 lead, Texas has won 10-4 over Texas Tech to win the Women's College World Series. Men's College World Series is coming up next week. It's the first pitch to O'Brien, misses high for ball one. We'll have coverage, I don't believe, on Friday next week because of the game time of Post 8 next Friday against up in Dickinson. And then we won't have it on Saturday because we'll have Post 8 baseball again and then Stanley Cup final. That'll be a curveball that drops in. It counts 1-1. So that Sunday will be the next time, the first time that we'll probably have coverage of the Men's College World Series for you. Count is 1-1 here to Parker O'Brien. He's 0 for 2, fielder's choice, and a ground down to the first baseman. 1-1, curveball that stays too far inside as it was breaking back, and the count's 2-1. Get activity out in the left field bullpen for post 22. You would think that a walk maybe spell the end of the afternoon or evening for Luke Hanslick before Nolan Peterson comes to the plate. But a base hit gives the Eights the lead. 2-1 pitch. O'Brien, ground ball up the middle, fielded by the shortstop. His throw to first will keep the first baseman on the bag and retire the side here at the top of the sixth inning. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. To the bottom of the sixth we go with a 2-2 score between Pierre and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Step up to the plate with Kathy Sunshine Properties in Pierre, your go-to for buying, selling, and finding your perfect home. Whether you're looking for a cozy cottage or a spacious family home, Kathy Sunshine Properties has you covered. We're committed to helping you make your next big move, on the field or in your life. Ready to find your dream home? Call Kathy Sunshine Properties at 605-224-5588. Your home run in real estate.
AGE Corporation has been building South Dakota for over 60 years. For all your site work, construction, and crane needs, AGE is there for you. If you need a boat dock and dock lighting, AGE has what you need. Visit their website, agecorp.com, or give them a call at 223-2732. AGE Corporation, providing high-quality services without sacrificing safety. Visit agecorp.com or call 223-2732.
Ridge Lineback is still on the mound as he's working in the 6th inning, and he will deal with 6, 7, and 8. Carter Johnson, Dexter Steen, and Brody Thompson. He's allowed just 3 hits so far through 5 complete innings. 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebein scoreboard. First pitch, swing and a miss for strike 1 to Carter Johnson, who is 0 for 2. He reached on an error and then came in to score the tying run in the bottom of the 2nd inning, and he flew out to the left fielder. And Carter Shufflebein, as that one will get to the backstop, and the count's 1-1. 2 runs, 8 hits, and an error for Post 8. 2 runs, 3 hits, and an error for Post 22. As we play here in the bottom of the 6th inning. There's a swing and a miss, and the count's now 1-2. Lineback trying to get through 6 innings. He has thrown 83 pitches now. This will be pitch number 84, so going all 7 will be tough to get through 105 pitches. 1-2 pitch. That'll miss low. The count's now 2-2. You also got to think about the fact that, well, he's got to get all 3 outs here in the 6th. This will be now pitch number 85. The 2-2 deliver. There's a swing and a miss and a strikeout. 4 strikeout of the ball game for Lineback. 1 down here in the bottom of the 6th inning. But he's got 20 pitches to work with. And he's not had a 1-2-3 inning in this game. He's faced 4 in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th inning. But he's never had a clean inning. This will get to the backstop as the pitch was low. 4-1 to Dexter Steen. He's got 1 of those 3 hits, but it didn't come on the RBI that he had in the 2nd. It was a ground out to the first baseman, Terwilliger. Then he singled with 1 out in the 4th. 1-0 pitch. That's down the middle for a strike, and the count's 1-1. So then where do you go after Lineback? And obviously, River Iverson, head coach for Post 8, had some kind of an idea going into this game who he's going to go with. Here's a ground ball that Terwilliger will easily field and step on the bag at first. And there's 2 down. Second time that Dexter Steen has grounded out to the first baseman, Terwilliger. And it will bring up Brody Thompson, the catcher, who is 0 for 2 with the strikeouts, and he popped out to the left of the mound where Ridge Lineback was able to make the catch. And Dexter Steen whispered something in the ear of Brody Thompson before he got to the plate. Maybe something that is tipping the pitch for Lineback as the first pitch is over for strike 1. Again, going from the windup, you might see somebody have a grip on the ball. 0-1 pitch. This will be flown out towards left field. Going back is Shufflebein. That's over his head, and it will bounce off the wall. Shufflebein will have to pick it up. The throw will come in. Dodson gets, will throw to third. They got him! They got him! That ends the inning! A double for Brody Thompson. He's thrown out trying to stretch it to a triple. Shufflebein to Getz, to Hunsley, and it ends the inning. So the minimum phase in the inning, no runs, a hit, no errors, and no one left on base. We head the 7th, still tied 2-2. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
As community bankers, BankWest employees are deeply committed to supporting local causes, growing the local economy, and creating local opportunities. At a time when you can bank anywhere, we hope you choose BankWest. We'll be your financial partner for the long haul, helping you and your community achieve financial success. BankWest. Convenient, connected, committed. Member FDIC.
Are you a farmer in the Highmore area? Do you need a trusted partner for your grain and agronomy needs? Look no further than AgTegra. AgTegra is built on a legacy of farmer-owned cooperatives, providing superior service and relentless innovation for generations. We're committed to your success and the safety of our employees and members. For your grain needs, call Chance Scott at 605-846-1099. And for all your agronomy needs, reach out to Cole Hamlin at 605-871-9572. AgTegra, growing together for generations.
Well, Ridge Lineback will have 15 pitches to work with going into the bottom of the 7th inning if he does come out for that 7th inning. But a heck of a play. Scheffelbein was able to grab the ball off the wall. It didn't even get to his glove off the wall, but he was able to pick it up, fired a strike to Dawson Getz, who then fired a strike to Grayson Hunsley. And Thompson, who was trying to dig out a double into a triple, is thrown out to end the bottom of the 6th inning. And it keeps this game a 2-2 ball game. And it'll be 9-1-2 for Post 22 in the bottom of the 7th, just like it's 9-1-2 to start the top of the 7th here for Post 8. Nolan Peterson's 1 for 2 with an RBI single. That made it a 2-0 game in that top of the 2nd inning. There's been no runs scored since the 2nd inning when both teams put up a 2 spot. Here's the first pitch to Nolan Peterson. Hard ground ball over the shortstop. He'll be fielded by Hunt. His throw to first is not dug out. And it will be a leadoff error charge to the shortstop in Blaine Hunt. Second error of the ball game. And the go-ahead run is on to kick off the top of the 7th. Now it's interesting. Do you play small ball with 2, 3, and 4 due up? But Scheffelbein, who is 1 for 2 in the ball game, we'll see if they want to bunt with him. They do show bunt, pulls it back. The throw back to first, and having to block it up was the first baseman in Steen. The one thing you can't do is get picked off at first. Because I know you want to get a good jump to get to second off the bunt, but you got to make sure that bunt gets dropped down first and is on the ground. 1-0 pitch, bunting, popping it up. It's going to be caught by the pitcher, and Scheffelbein unable to advance the runner to second. Second time that Post 8 has failed in his sacrifice bunts. And it's now a sudden sun and shine. Runs have been at a premium, and so trying to bunt guys into scoring position been the philosophy for Coach Iverson. Swing and a miss by Sun and Shine on the first pitch for strike 1. But just one sacrifice bunt laid down effectively by Post 8 in this game. That was by Grayson Hunsley. Porter Hunsley and Scheffelbein both failing to do so. There's a swing and a miss by Sun and Shine. The count's now 0-2. Going to be 9-1-2 in the bottom of the 7th for Post 22. They're looking for a chance to have 1 run to win it and to move to 3-0 in the Veterans Classic. 0-2 pitch. That'll miss low. Another off-speed pitch, but Sun and Shine was not chasing that time. And the count's now 1-2. Again, Ridge Lineback will have 15 pitches to work with in the 7th inning. We cannot see the right field bullpen to tell if anybody be warming up anyway for Post 8. You would think that somebody probably would be warming up for the simple fact that only 15 pitches to work with, but you can still have Ridge Lineback go out there to start the 7th inning. 2-2 pitch. Here to Sun and Shine. That'll be taken for strike 3, and the third time that Sun and Shine is now looking in the ball game. And after the leadoff error, there's now 2 down, and Peterson still stays at first base. Charlie Simpson is 1 for 3, singled in the 3rd inning. Looking for a gap shot somewhere to give the Eights the lead. First pitch is upstairs for ball 1. There's activity out in the left field bullpen for Post 22. Going to be 9-1-2 for Post 22 in the bottom of the 7th. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. That'll miss slow for ball 2. The count's 2-0 here to Simpson. Again, tomorrow, 2:45 Central Time with coverage. 3 o'clock first pitch between Pierre and the Post 22 18U team. 2-0 counts. That pitch is off the hand. Simpson will pop it up, and it'll be caught by Luke Hanslick to end the inning as he is fired up on the mound. No runs, no hits, an error, and a man left on base. A chance for Post 22 to win it in the bottom of the 7th. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Hello, I'm Pastor Jeff Lathrop of Pierre First United Methodist Church, and I'd like to invite you to join us in person for worship on Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. or 11 a.m. You can also join us on Facebook Live or on KCCR 1240 a.m. or 98.9 FM for our Sunday morning broadcast at 11 a.m. Come worship with us at First United Methodist Church, where you will find open hearts, open minds, and open doors.
When you're in town for the big game, why not stay where the view is just as great as the action? American in Fort Pierce sits right on the river, offering beautiful scenery, relaxing comfort, and easy access to the ballpark. After a day at the Diamond, there's nothing better than unwinding by the water, and the American always hits it out of the park. Stay by the river. Stay in comfort. Call 605-223-2358 to book your room today. American, where the river meets relaxation.
It is the bottom of the 7th, and it is a 2-2 tie on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shuffle by a scoreboard. 9-1-2. Ridge Lineback has 15 pitches to work with to try and get through 7 innings. He's going to try to get this into extras into the top of the 8th. And he's got 9-1-2 to deal with. Blaine Hunt will lead things off as he grounded out to Lineback in the 2nd, then drew a walk in the 4th. This is just the 3rd time through the order. Aiden Roberts, Lars Kiefer, 9-1-2 here in the bottom of the 7th inning. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. That dugout for Post 22 has got a lot louder, trying to will this team to a win here in the bottom of the 7th inning. 1-0 pitch. That one is grounded at first base side. It is going to be foul. And the count remains at 1-1. Hunt is 0 for 1. Roberts 0 for 3. And Lars Kiefer 1 for 2. Count is 1-1 here to Blaine Hunt. 1-1 pitch. That'll bounce in on the fastball, and the count's now 2-1. Coach Torvey went down to tell something to the man on deck, and Aiden Roberts. Here's the 2-1 pitch. That'll be upstairs, and the count's now 3-1. This will be pitch number 5 of the at-bat, 5 of the 15 that Lineback has to throw in this 7th inning before they have to make a change. 3-1 pitch. There's a sharp ground ball to the second base side. O'Brien will field. His throw to first is going to be in time to retire the leadoff man. So 1 down here in the bottom of the 7th, and it will bring up now Aiden Roberts. You're listening to KCCR Pierre, Riverfront Broadcasting Station. After a long day for Post 320 pool yesterday, they beat us to get done first. As Post 320, as the first pitch is missed for ball 1, Post 320 beat Cody, Wyoming, 12-1. They moved to 3-0. They're looking to try and end up being the number 1 seed coming out of that pool. Cody, Wyoming, they moved to 1-2. That will get to the backside, and the count's now 2-1. Post 320 has scored 37 runs in 3 games over in that pool. This will be fouled back, and the count's now 2-2. And again, this will be pitch number 5 of this at-bat, so then Leinbach will have 5 pitches remaining. But if he does get an out here, he will have an opportunity to get through the bottom of the 7th. Roberts waits on the 2-2 pitch from Rich Leinbach. Check swing over the first base side, but it is foul. That was pitch number 100. Should be pitch number 100. Which gives Leinbach just these 5 pitches remaining to try and get through the 7th inning. 2-2 pitch. This will be popped foul. That'll get out of play. And the longer this at-bat goes, the harder it is for Leinbach to get through 7 complete innings. The 8s will have to go to somebody else if the game gets into the 8th. 2-2. That'll be outside. The count's now 3-2. Or at least if they win this game, somebody else will have to come into the game to pitch. Pitch number 103 from Ridge Leinbach. Slow roller, give me a tough play. Barehanded by Hunsley. He'll bobble the throw and not be in time. And it will be an infield single for Aiden Roberts. That was pitch number 104, so Leinbach can make that 103. So Leinbach can go after one more guy. It is Lars Kiefer with a runner on at first and one out here in the bottom of the 7th. Kiefer had a single in the first, walked in the 3rd, and grounded out 3-1 in the 5th inning. First pitch is over for strike 1. This is the final batter of the day for Ridge Leinbach. See where Coach Iverson will go after this one, but a ground ball can end the inning. 0-1 pitch. That is outside. The count's 1-1. Winning run is on now at first on the 5th hit of the ball game. Second infield single of the game for Post 22. 1-1. Runner takes off. Taken for a ball 2. The throw to second will skip off of O'Brien. The stolen base for Roberts. And I believe, it is a 1-2 count, or is it a 2-1 count? I believe it's a 2-1 count. So they're saying it's 2-1. That's what I had on the scoreboard. The scoreboard here had 1 and 2, but it's now 2-1 count. That one's taken for a strike. The count's 2-2. Again, final batter of the game for Ridge Leinbach. Trying to keep this ball game alive as well. Time is called by Lars Kiefer. Base hit could win it. If you're the outfield, you're firing home, keeping that runner at third base. Who cares if that other runner gets to second? You got to keep that run from scoring. 2-2. That'll be a pitch in the turf, blocked up by Simpson. Count is now full at 3-2. On deck is Wyatt Reeder. An infield single in his last at-bat in the 5th inning. Leinbach trying to retire the last man that he can face. 3-2 pitch. There's a fly ball that is going to be caught by Dawson Getz in the outfield turf behind shortstop, and there's now 2 down. And that will be the end of the line for Ridge Leinbach, who will go 6 2/3 innings, allowing just the 2 runs, only one of them earned, on a fantastic performance for Leinbach. Unbelievable job by Ridge Leinbach. He'll leave with a runner on at second with 2 outs here in the bottom of the 7th. Post 8 crowd gives Ridge Leinbach a rousing ovation. Even the 22 crowd is saying how good of a job that Ridge Leinbach did. We'll step aside for a minute. We'll come back and tell you the changes, as it looks like Porter Hunsley will be the man on the mound. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Step up to the plate with Overhead Door Company of Pierre. Like your favorite team, We deliver reliability, strength, and top-notch performance. For over 100 years, Overhead Door has been the most respected name in the industry. From commercial or residential repairs to full upgrades, our team of technicians stand ready to provide winning results. Don't let a faulty garage door strike you out. Look for the signature red ribbon and call the industry MVP at 605-224-6200. Bring your garage door game to the big leagues.
Is your roof ready for the next South Dakota storm? Don't wait till it's too late. For over 25 years, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction has been serving Central South Dakota with quality roofing and construction. He has now added gutters. We offer dependable service, guaranteed workmanship, and no unnecessary flash or fuss. Just reliable protection for your home. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction. Experience you can trust. Call today, 605-280-8133. Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, serving Central South Dakota for over 25 years.
Porter Hunsley is on the mound here for Post States. Trevor Rounds will take over in center. He will be in the number 9 spot in the batting order as the DH is gone. As Ridge Lineback throws 6 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. The 2 runs is 1 earned run of the 2. But the man at second he is still responsible for, so his full line score cannot be completed until the inning is over. Whether that be a win for Post 22 or we head to extras in the top of the 8th. And it's number 3 man Wyatt Reeder to the plate. Porter Hunsley, lefty on lefty matchup, the rising junior. Talking about what Coach Iverson thinks of this rising sophomore, not rising junior, rising sophomore. You put him in a spot against Post 22. That's the confidence level that you have in Porter Hunsley as the first pitch is outside for ball 1. Trevor Rounds is in center. He's going to be ready for that ball to come at him. Usually finds you when you move into the game. Here's the 1-0 pitch. That one will miss low and away. You don't have to give in to Wyatt Reeder right now. There is... Well, sorry, Shufflebein is out, going to be in center, and Rounds is going to be in left. But you don't have to give in to Reeder. There is a base open, and we'll set up a force play. 2-0 pitch will miss low, and Hunsley so far has missed around the strike zone. Nothing's been wild out of the strike zone. He's missed around it, trying to maybe see if Reeder will swing at something out of the zone. The count's 3-0. He's a guy that you could give a green light to in Wyatt Reeder. 3-0 pitch, taken all the way, missing for ball 4. That's not the worst thing to happen in this 7th inning. Again, it's now 1st and 2nd. A ground ball gets you out of this inning anywhere on any of the 3 bases. Ryan McLeod will come to the plate, who's 0 for 3. Easiest base on a ground ball. 2 outs, base it, probably wins the ball game for Post 22. Porter Hunsley will come set from the stretch. He'll deliver the first pitch. Swing and a foul back. After 4 straight misses, McLeod comes up there looking to swing away. He fouls it back off the mask of Charlie Simpson. And the count is 0-1. If we get to the top of the 8th inning, it is 4, 5, and 6. Dawson Getz, Cooper Twilliger, and Grayson Hunsley. They've been the best 3 hitters for Post State in this ball game. 0-1 pitch, that is skied out to left field. It is hooking foul, but Rounds will make the catch, and we will go to the 8th. Porter Hunsley comes in and gets the last out after a walk, and we will head to extras here at the Fitz. No runs, a hit, no errors, and 2 men left on base. How about some free baseball? There will be a runner at second to start the top of the 8th inning like they do in the majors to try and speed up that extra inning. So it is a runner on its second to start the top of the 8th, but we will tell you about that coming up here in just a moment. Back in a minute here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Look, it's no secret that owning a vehicle can cause a lot of stress, and they get a lot of wear and tear on them through the extreme seasons we've grown to love. Graham Tire wants you to know that you can trust them with any problem that you have with your vehicle. Their ASE certified mechanics can make your AC cool again, or even just change your oil. They can look into and fix those noises that seem to come from nowhere and have you stressed out. Bring your car to Graham Tire so they can put your mind at ease. Graham Tire, your tire store next door.
When you bank with First Fidelity, we reinvest your deposit right back into our community. We make loans to local families, farms, and small businesses. Community reinvestment is one of our basic purposes. It's vital to the local economy. It also helps grow our community. Stop by one of our branches today. First Fidelity Bank. First-class banking on a first-name basis. Member FDIC and equal housing lender. Online at ffb-sd.com.
So it was stated over the PA that it would start with a runner on at second in the top of the 8th inning in extra innings. But because this is a South Dakota game, you're not doing that. This means something in the standings. So this is one of 4 games in total that the reason why you're not going to have someone start on second. If this is a game tomorrow and we go to extra innings, they will start at second base. But because this is a South Dakota league game, there will not be anybody starting on second base in the extra innings. Didn't think about that. Obviously, you know, outside of, again, Post 22 taking on Huron, Post 320, they're not even playing Sturgis. This is one of 2 South Dakota games that are in play of this tournament. But it limits then, tells you that you're not going to have the ghost runner at second or the first runner at second. But Dawson Getz is leading things off. He'll take first pitch strike. So it is 4, 5, and 6. Getz, Terwilliger, and Hunsley. Both Getz and Terwilliger with 2 hits so far. Hunsley is 1 for 2 in the ball game. Here's the 0-1 pitch. That'll bounce in from Luke Hanslick, who is into his 4th inning of work. Ridge Lineback officially gives up those 2 runs, 1 earned on 2 walks, 4 strikeouts with 5 hits through 6 2/3 innings. Both he and Declan Mickley, the starters, who are both excellent, won't factor into the decision in this ball game. Counts 2-1. Here to Dawson Getz. 8 hits so far for the Eights. 2 runs, 8 hits, and an error. 2 runs, 5 hits, and 2 errors for Post 22. Two-one pitch. Getz will foul that one out of play. They will do it again here at 2-2. And just with the now extra innings in this game, that pretty much takes out any opportunities of probably going to the NHL game, although they are going to overtime between Florida and Edmonton in Game 2. Edmonton won in overtime in Game 1. Now might have a chance to win Game 2 in overtime. They come back to tie it in the 3rd period. That one will bounce in for ball 3 and a full count to start us off. Again, there's still activity on the left field bullpen for this Post 22 team. Porter Hunsley, who's just entered the game, you would think that they will continue with him in the 8th inning, regardless if they have the lead or not. 3-2 pitch to Getz. This will be popped foul. That will get out of play as it went past the blue seats and about 3 rows up. It's not really a second deck, but of the red seats and bleachers here at the Fitz. Sun is set here at the Fitz. But it's a fantastic Friday night ball game between Pierre and Rapid City Post 22. 3-2 pitch from Hanslick to Getz. Swing and a miss. Getz, that was be a catcher's interference. It was a swing and a miss, but a catcher's interference as Thompson, well, it ended up being such a late swing from Getz, and that could have been the reason why it looked so late too, that Thompson ended up getting the way of that swing from Getz, turns into a catcher's interference, and it's a runner on first to lead off the inning. So can they make that hurt? Does that go down? The one thing that I always struggle with is if that goes down as an error on a catcher's interference. Bunting is Terwilliger. He'll bunt it foul in the box for strike 1. Terwilliger is 2 for 2 with 2 singles with an RBI, and he struck out looking. It is an error on the catcher, so that's the 3rd error. Catcher's interference goes down as an error, so 3 errors for post 22. This will miss low. Blocked up by Thompson. The count's now 1-1. There's number 5 man in the batting order. Grayson Hunsley waits on deck, and then followed by the pitcher, Porter Hunsley. Can Post State find a way to make that catcher's interference hurt? Twilliger showing bunt another time. Down the first base side, but it is foul. And the count is now 1-2. And Twilliger have to swing. Down on the count, 1-2 right now. Dawson Getz leads away from first here at the top of the 8th. 1-2 pitch. Here's a ground ball on the left side, fielded by the third baseman. Throw to second for 1, back to first. It is a double play. And a 5-4-3 double play takes away the catcher's interference. And there's now 2 down with nobody on here in the top of the 8th inning. Second double play turned by post 22 here in this ball game. And now it's Grayson Hunsley to hit with nobody on base, trying to start a 2-out rally to give the A's the lead. Porter Hunsley waits on deck, wants a shot to hit here in the 8th inning. First pitch will miss low for ball 1. This ball game has gone over the 2-hour mark. Started at 7:12 locally. Now it's 9:18 here in Rapid City, 10:18 on a Friday night in Pierre. We got started 12 minutes past the original scheduled start time. 1-0 pitch. That is outside. The count's now 2-0. But this is the only game of the day and night for Post State. Post 22 won the first game that they played, 5-0 over Laramie. They're only giving up 2 runs so far in this tournament, and it's the 2 runs on the board right now for Post State. Here's the 2-0 from Hanslick to Hunsley. That'll bounce in, and now it's a 3-0 count. In on deck is Porter Hunsley. We'll see if maybe if they can get Grayson Hunsley on, find a gap somewhere for Porter Hunsley. Help himself out. But Grayson Hunsley's got to get on base first. 3-0 pitch. Taking all the way, top of the zone for strike 1. Grayson Hunsley took a couple steps towards the first base bag. But we'll dig back in. Good hitters count here, 3-1 the count. Hanslick will come and deliver from the windup. Swing and a miss. Behind on the fastball that time was Hunsley, and from 3-0, it's now a 3-2 count. Luke Hanslick trying to get the third out. Grayson Hunsley trying to be a 2-out base runner. Payoff pitch from Hanslick. Hunsley will pop it up on the right side in foul territory. Ran at the line. The catch is made by the first baseman, Dexter Steen, and it retires the side. No runs, no hits, an error, and no one left on base. We head to the bottom of the 8th. Still 2-2 between Pierre and Post 22. Back in a minute on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
Want technology solutions you can trust from a neighbor you know? Comtech, locally owned and serving Pierre and surrounding area since 2009, is dedicated to keeping your home, farm, and business connected and secure. We offer a full range of services, from audio and video, security, surveillance, and networking with expert installation and support. Visit our storefront, call us at 605-224-4066, or visit our website, comtechplus.com, to experience the Comtech difference. Comtech, your local technology experts.
Hey, yo, Speedo's Lawn Care.
Hello. Say, my yard's in rough shape. It's got weeds, brown spots, and crabgrass.
Yeah, no problemo. What shade of green you need? We got 31 shades of green over here. Even the latest shade of septic tank grass green. That one just naturally gives off a glow.
Call the professionals at True Green. They know how to get your lawn healthy and keep it healthy. They guarantee it. All technicians are trained and certified.
Call True Green, 224-1916.
It is the bottom of the 8th. It is still 2-2 on the American Family Insurance Brittany Shufflebine scoreboard. And it will be 5, 6, and 7. Jace Morgan, Carter Johnson, and Dexter Steed. They need 1 run to win at this post 22. Porter Hunsley, who walked Wyatt Reeder in his first man that he faced. Then he got Ryan McLeod to foul out to the left fielder, Trevor Rounds. That first pitch will miss for ball 1. And I would not be surprised, too, in that first at-bat for Porter Hunsley against Reeder that Coach Iverson said, don't give him anything good to hit. We'll go after the next guy. Pitcher, not necessarily, you're not intentionally walking him, but we're pitching around him and trying to get himself out. And so Coach Iverson, I don't think, was anywhere concerned about the walk that was thrown to Reeder. And then McLeod flew out to end the inning. Now here's a 2-0 pitch that will be at the bottom of the zone, but just missing. And it's now a 3-0 count here to Jace Morgan. Carter Johnson, the right fielder, will be on deck. 3-0 pitch will miss for ball 4. And so it is a 4-pitch walk to start the bottom of the 8th inning. And I would think that we're going to see a bunt be called for Carter Johnson. Carter Johnson, who is 0 for 3, reaching on an error in the 2nd. Flew out to left in the 4th and then struck out swinging in the 6th. He tried to lay down a bunt in that 4th inning, but ended up flying out to the left fielder. Shows bunt this time, and it's now 5 straight misses here for Porter Hunsley. Open up the bottom of the 8th inning. This post 22 team has lost just 1 time all season. They're 21-1-1. Here's a bunt. That'll be back to Hunsley. He'll throw to second. They got him out. Back to first. It is going to be off the glove of Twilliger. Running to second will be the batter in Johnson, who will end up at second anyway. So it turned into a fielder's choice, then turns into an error, and it's not how you draw it up for post 22, but they do get the runner to second base with 1 out, and it's Dexter Steen. Almost was a double play turned off the bunt, but unfortunately turns into exactly what post 22 was wanting, was having a runner on second with 1 out. Here will be charged to Parker O'Brien on the throw. First pitch will miss for ball 1. Here to Dexter Steen, who does have one of those 5 hits for post 22. RBI ground out, then he got a base hit, and he grounded back out to the first baseman, Twilliger. 1-0 pitch will miss, and the count's now 2-0. And outside of the bunt that was laid down, Porter Hunsley hasn't thrown a strike yet in this bottom of the 8th inning. But again, with the base open at first, it would just set up the double play with Brody Thompson on deck. 2-0 pitch. Upstairs, it's now 3-0. Brody Thompson, who doubled in his last at-bat, was thrown out trying to stretch it into a triple. He doesn't need to try and stretch a double into a triple at this point in the game, because that will score the winning run. 3-0 pitch. That's over for a strike. Counts 3-1 now. Good hitters count here for Steen, trying to be the hero in this ball game against Post 8. This is a South Dakota Legion game that goes in the standings, not just for the Veterans Classic, but for the standings at the end of the season. 3-1 pitch. That one just misses. Somewhere missed inside, had to miss inside, as it's now a first and second. Third walk issued by Hunsley. And we'll have a new man at the plate. It'll be number 21. As Josh Elder will hit for Brody Thompson. So Thompson finishes the day at 1 for 3. But the lefty and Elder to the plate. First pitch is over for strike 1. Outside of the pitching change, this is their first sub that has come in. Elder is hitting 275 with 3 doubles, a triple, and a home run with 11 runs driven in. Again, he's trying to be the hero. Runner takes off for third, bounces in, And it will be a double steal that works out well with the pitch that will end up being the turf. And now the infield's going to come in all the way around. And now they're going to put the man on first. So they will get the intentional walk to force the force out for Blaine Hunt. The number 9 man in the batting order. Infield fly rule is in effect, force out in effect. The infield's in all the way around. Ground ball is a force out to the plate. And Blaine Hunt, who is 0 for 2 with a walk. It's between him and Aiden Roberts to try and win the ball game. First pitch swinging, ground ball, base hit, and that'll win the ball game. Hunt will come in. We make that the runner, and Johnson will come in to score as Hunt walks off post 22. Fortune post 22 in a 3-2 win on the first pitch that he sees with 1 out and the bases loaded in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 3-2 win in 8 for post 22. As we'll come back in 2 minutes and wrap it up here from the Veterans Classic in Rapid City. Back in 2 minutes here on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports.
You're looking for quality trash pickup services? Look no further than Envirotech. 6 days a week, their trucks are on the road picking up trash, even holidays. They're also the place to contact for recycling services. Their friendly, professional staff is ready to assist with weekly pickups or even special pickups. Check out the website at envirotechwaste.com. Envirotech is locally operated. Call 224-4804. Envirotech Waste Services in Pierre, proud to support high school athletics.
With any dream, the wind won't always be at your back. The sun won't always be shining, and some rain is going to fall. American Family Insurance is like a good, solid roof that you can trust to protect your biggest dreams. With plans that could save you up to 23% when you bundle your home and auto. Also, you can continue to dream fearlessly, no matter what comes your way. American Family Insurance.
Visit mfam.com to learn how discounts may apply to you. American Family Mutual Insurance Company assigned its operating company, 6000 American Parkway, Madison, Wisconsin.
Contact the Brittany Shufflebind Agency, LLC. 224-6627.
Looking for your next new or used car, truck, or SUV? Then go no further than the comfort of your own home. Shop online at lambmotor.com. On lambmotor.com, you'll find the vehicles Lambs has in stock. You can schedule a test drive or your vehicle's next tune-up all online. New or used, shop for it all online anywhere you are. Lamb Motor has the right vehicle for you. Lamb Motor in Oneida and online, lambmotor.com.
No one likes to have electrical problems, but when they happen, call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. With over 28 years of experience, Todd's Electric can handle any type of electrical problem, whether it's residential, commercial, or agricultural. Their knowledgeable staff knows and understands the importance of your home, business, or ag facility and are prepared to help. Call Todd's Electric at 223-2518. That's 223-2518. Todd's Electric, serving the Pierre and Fort Pierre areas. The line to power.
We welcome you back as it is a final score, a 3-2 walk-off win for the Hardhats over Post States as the Eights had a 2-0 lead in the top of the second on a RBI single from Cooper Terwilliger after Dawson Getz had a leadoff triple. And then an RBI single from Nolan Peterson made it 2-0. But an error that scored the first run and an RBI ground out from Dexter Steen tied the game at 2-2 in the second. And we remained that same score until the bottom of the 8th inning when it was an RBI bases loaded hit for Blaine Hunt to walk off the Eights here at the Fitz 3-2 in the victory. It'll be Luke Hanslick that will get the win as he went 4 innings in relief and without allowing a run. The Eights actually out-hits the Hardhats 8-6. Porter Hunsley will get the loss, but it was 2/3 of an inning, 1 hit, 1 run, 4 walks, 1 being an intentional walk for Porter Hunsley. Ridge Lineback went 6 2/3 innings, gave up 5 hits, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 4 strikeouts. Time of the ball game was 2 hours and 16 minutes, as it was 2 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors, and 7 men left on base for Pierre. 3 runs, 6 hits, 3 errors, and 8 men left on base for the Hardhats, as it was a 3-2 win for Post 22 over Pierre. So the Eights are now 2-1 here at the Veterans Classic. They will have one more game. They can still go 3-1, but they cannot win the pool anymore. I guess they still could, but it would be kind of a stretch at this point with the fact that Miles City has to lose. Post 22 end up having to lose, and Pierre has to win their game to go to 3-1. Then you go runs allowed, and they're going to have a lot of runs be scored against Post 22 and Miles City to actually win the pool. So most likely scenario would be probably the 3 seed, which would still be 3 or 4 seed, which would still put them near that 2 o'clock, 3 o'clock Central Time start on Sunday. But we'll talk more about that tomorrow. So it's going to be a 3 o'clock Central Time first pitch for Post 8 tomorrow afternoon against the Post 22 18U team to wrap up pool play. And we'll try and maybe have a little bit more of an answer on where the 8s will finish in the pool, how they end that game and how things go beforehand for Post 22, or excuse me, for Post 8 against Post 22. 3-2 is our final score. Post 22 wins it over Post 8 in a walk-off hit in 8 innings. I want to say thanks to Jen Brazilius back at the station. John Mickler here signing off. It is a 3-2 win for Post 22 over Pierre Post 8, as we will try and get you out for the overtime period between Florida and Edmonton after this. You've been listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Have a good night from Rapid City.
By listening to Post 8 Baseball on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports. Post 8 Baseball is brought to you by Comtech, True Green Chemlon, Edward Jones Financial, Overhead Door, Todd's Electric, Shane's Pharmacy, Jaeger, AGE, First Fidelity, State Farm Becky Possiba Agency, Capital City Ford, Lincoln, and Toyota, Oahe Federal Credit Union, Missouri River Dentistry, Dakota Sprinkler and Landscaping, Egtegra, Ferding Electric, Envirotech, Kruger Climate Systems, Stalkin Peterson LLP, Wagner Auto, the South Dakota Office of Attorney General, Division of Consumer Protection, Gales Gas, First United Methodist Church, Karsten Erickson Roofing and Construction, Beck Motors, May Adam, American Family Insurance Brittany Scheffelbein Agency, Lamb Motors, Bank West, CHS River Plains, Faith Lutheran Church, Graham Tire, Kathy Sunshine Properties, Venture Communications, and the American of Fort Pierre. Join us all season on KCCR and on YouTube at KCCR Sports for more Post 8 Baseball. This has been a special presentation of Riverfront Broadcasting Sports, Central South Dakota's